Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2026 Map Rando Multicategory Hard Tricky Double Elimination Winter Tournament Gold Bracket Lower Bracket Round 8 Quarterfinals. On the left-hand side, weighing somewhere between 50 and 300 pounds, the master of the X-ray climb, insane as the insane seas he crushes, Nito. On the right-hand side, former low percent ice world champion, former 80% world champion, the lean machine, crash out machine, Oats and Goats. It's going to be a doozy, folks. We got item draft for you up today. And my co-commentary, Eddie, the one, the only legend himself, the Mesquite. Actually, I can't say that. Eddie, welcome. Tell the people about Elite. Yourself. The Mesquite Elite. Yes, we changed that. Yep, you're right.
Coined by Oats. Yep. Yeah, this is gonna be a great matchup. Really anticipated. Nito, considered one of the favorites to win the tournament overall. Oats, a little bit newer to Rando, so a little bit less experience. At this point, he's extremely experienced, right? But Oats, primarily known for his speedrunning prowess. We're gonna get a really big clash here between someone that started off playing randomizers, Nito, versus someone that started off speedrunning, Oats, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But high jump and ice. We had Nito banning gravity and Oats banning X-ray for obvious reasons, and then we have Oats picking high jump and Nito picking ice. So that's going to be fun. And Nito checking to the right of Croc, and Oats heading directly up to the top of Red Tower.
Yeah, already starting off with a huge divergence. Not that big, actually, but it feels like a big one. And Oats already recognizing the ice and high jump will definitely put the Red Tower in logic. Nito decided to check the doors just to make sure there's nothing else along the way. And a very easy map to get to Red Ship. 1, 2 majors, Croc at the bottom, as we saw. And it looks like 2 more connectors. Norfair at the bottom, and I think Turian to the left.
Yep, nothing really to do right now except going on this elevator. It looks like everything was blocked off by either ammo or something else. And look at this. There is some funny tech we could do where we can moonfall clip down to the bottom. However, we don't currently have morph. So there's no point in doing that. This is a room that you're going to want to keep in track from what we see from Oats here. But that also requires morph. So we're just going to find morph and make our way back to the items that we can't get right now. Now, this is going to be interesting. Absolutely. Oats has to dodge this. You normally want to morph underneath this Metroid, but you can't do that right now because we don't have morph. And we have a hell run. So this is already getting really dicey. Spiffy.
Uh-oh. It's going to be really good, too. With ice, it does, I think, put it in hard logic to dodge those guys. It makes it a little tragic not having morph. We did also spy a few tanks up in the starting area with another connector that we kind of missed. I don't know if Oats saw this, but Brinsar is to the north of the starting area.
Yeah, I think that might have been locked out by some sort of ammo or something. So both players are making their way down here. This is kind of funny because it looks like logically they, not logically, but it looks like they might just have to go to the bottom right entrance of Brinstar here, the green Brin shaft, because there's not really much else they can do. So both of them having to reset, and I think the morph is probably just going to be in the bottom right of this room that Oats is currently in.
Absolutely, the green Brinstar shaft is going to be the key for sure. One hub to another. There's always going to be a giant hub in the beginning of these starts.
Yep.
And here you go.
There's another door here to the left. So here we go. There it is.
And there it is.
Yep.
Chozo holding the orb as advertised.
So both these players are going to go immediately back to the Bottoon hallway, which is on the right door, because that's something that you can immediately do with your high jump. And you can go ahead and grab the item right there. I'm assuming there's a good chance it's just power bombs to unlock the bottom, to unlock another item, but it doesn't have to be. And if it's not, it'd be interesting to see if Nito would go ahead and do something else, but it is.
Yeah.
All right.
No ice moon clip falls. Not today. Not yet, at least. So Oats now scanning the map, making sure he's not missing anything. Keeping in mind that there are a couple of majors up there in Wreck Ship. Oh, also the pre-pillars room is right there, unlocked by power bombs as well. Just making sure that they aren't missing anything with those power bomb logic.
Yep. So with these power bombs, Meridia has opened up that they return to the starting area, but for right now, they're going to definitely get this item right here. It's probably some form of progression, and it's the Varia suit.
Wow, that's huge. Huge. So this is wrapping up to be a pretty quick Varia plus movement kind of dealio. Started ice high jump, getting the Varia suit now. A lot of heat around, so it makes a lot of sense. Maybe they're going to go right back on over to the west-hand side where single chamber is.
That is an option. I didn't quite get to see where the map was. Oats is going to be a little thorough and clear out the rooms down here. It is a little bit annoying to get down here because you have a limited amount of power bombs. So I think blinding these bottom doors, albeit even if there's not really like much value in blinding them, because it's hard to get back down, I don't mind just checking those doors naturally.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Nito choosing not to do that and is going straight to the heat that Varia has just unlocked. That is the thing. You find your Varia, you have to figure out, okay, what just unlocked as a result of Varia, and this was a room that was very suspicious.
Ooh, finding the top sports spawn.
Yeah, it looks like there's nothing here. It's pretty neat.
Getting baited by that powerbomb door as well. It's gonna find itself in a similar situation. Gonna find the top of sports spawn. Instantly nopes out, knowing he cannot do it. Not yet.
Yep. So this is kind of what we would call like it's definitely like a red herring, right? You get the Varia, you're like, okay, what did Varia unlock? Oh yeah, I remember there was some heat back there, right? So both players have the same idea. Oh, it's almost taking a death right there. It wouldn't be the worst death, but you don't want to die for no reason here, especially against someone like Nito.
Exactly. For those who do not know, this is the round 1 of the quarterfinals of the lower bracket, gold bracket. Round 8, I should say. Seed 1, game 1. Between the number 2 seed, Nito. Actually, Nito does outseed you, doesn't he? I'm not used to seeing that. And then Oats and Goats himself, the number 6 seed. Well, coming from the former world Map Rando tournament champion himself, Eddie over here, my co-commentator, the man, the myth, the legend.
I like the sound of that. World record Map Rando tournament guy. Yeah.
World champion.
Yeah, world champion.
Map Rando world champion.
You know, this is kind of interesting because Nito went ahead and just went straight to Meridia.
Yeah,
for Oats, you can go ahead and get that major at the top.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I thought for sure.
It kind of sucks because you have to reform your power bombs. But that I think might be in logic right now. So we'll see how this works out for Oats. He's gonna go ahead and grab this missile, and I think he's gonna make sure he farms all these power bombs, and he's gonna grab the major and then farm his way back out. That looks like his plan. Croc is also potentially on the table if I saw correctly. That also has a major, but I didn't quite get to see what was going on there.
Yes.
And what did Nito get from all that?
So Nito actually peeked the Criteria Pirate Shaft, ended up finding a pack of missiles and X-ray, but doesn't have a way around quite yet.
Okay, so I think Nito's actually going to go follow in Oats' footsteps here. So, he might die if he's not careful. That's not good. Okay,
he's got to save.
Just save right here, so not a big deal.
Yo, Spazer fans, hands up, Spazer fans! Oats and Goats dips out immediately. Doesn't want to waste the time farming those power bombs for what some would consider the best beam in the game. I am not included in that group. Sorry, Spader fans. But another pack of missiles are definitely going to be doing some good work. Oats and Goats. What's its idea now? Is the top right door a missile door, perhaps? It is.
Yep. So, Spiffy, this is actually kind of funny. You know what I'm like kind of hoping to see? I believe there was a zone up here. I think it was Turian, if I remember correctly. And I think it was an up door, if I remember correctly as well. I think it would be the funniest thing if that was... actually, no, they have power bombs. I was going to say, if that was a wreck ship shaft, and the spacer gets you in there.
Oh, don't remind me. My game 2 against Oats and Goats. It was tragic, and my spacer deaths. But yes, if we had a repeat of that, it would have been amazing. A nice little throwback for Oats. And he knew, too. He knew there was an up door.
Okay, so this is Brinstar. Nito's gonna get the bad news, retracing what Oats has done in the past. So he's checking these doors, which are gonna be fruitless essentially, but Oats taking a pretty solid lead right now. There's a good chance that this is progression right here. We'll see what it is. Charge beam would be funny, but missiles. I don't know what puts Croc in logic exactly, but there is a world where it's just a bunch of missiles that gives Croc access. Now, if Oats does this, this is a risk. I don't know if the map is in this way, but his way back is going to have to be a CWJ, which is, of course, a little bit dangerous. So, yep, he's going to have to CWJ right here. He opened the door, and this is going to be a little sketchy. This could be a one frame jump. It depends on the subpixel, but yeah, the return route is a little spicy here. He's got 5 tries.
Anybody can do it, though.
Yep. 5 attempts. Meanwhile, Nito is making his way up the red tower. There we go.
Second try. Is he gonna commit the spazer though?
Yeah, this will be
hard tricky. I want to say the croc ammo it's probably between like 20-25 missiles and 10 supers or something like that. It's not a lot, but it's not little for sure.
Yeah, so that's the interesting thing, right? The logic can be kind of funny here. It could just be like, oh, on this step you can get like 30 missiles for free, and then you just go kill Croc. Like that could be, if I saw the entrance to Croc correctly, that could literally be the logic. We know that Oats got some missiles out of logic, so what he has right now is not indicative of what you're able to do. But this, I believe, is in logic, which is very spicy if this is the case. Oh,
that's ridiculous. Charge beam being found here. Okay.
Oh, Oats, where are you going? Be careful.
Oh, he's just taking a little sauna bath real quick.
Okay, so
Soaking
I think
in the hot tub.
the logic appears to me. I don't know if he knows this is in logic. So what it appears to me is you go kill. You drag the Garuda over in that room. I don't know if Oats knows this is in logic, right? But with Varia, you have enough time to just wait for the Garuda to come over, jump off of him, grab the charge, and that would put the Croc in logic. I don't think he knows that's in logic, but I believe it is, as long as you have Varia, Ice, and High Jump.
That's a pretty spicy tech. I'm not sure that's going to be in logic for just hard. I can see it being in logic for very hard. No, I don't know about just hard though.
I believe that is something that came up, and we were like, "How is this in logic?" But if I remember correctly, it is in logic, and I think it's even possible in logic without Varia suit, as long as you have a lot of tanks. I think this
like
came
a lot
up
of help
in a seed that Carter Freak actually played, and I think it was a subject of discussion, but I don't know if it's been changed. But he may not know that this is in logic, so yeah. I mean, either way, I think Oats is just gonna go defeat Croc, which I believe. That charge is what puts the Croc in logic. He's just going to do Croc anyway with 20 missiles because he's more than capable. Both these players can do that. So I think he may not know it, but I believe he is skipping a logical step.
Yeah, looks like it. And in the chat, people are definitely saying it is 100% in logic. And I do believe you're right in saying that this did come up somewhere before, which is crazy to me. But, you know, Nito's going to be able to recognize this right away. I think he's going to do it right now.
Yeah.
He absolutely knows.
And I think Nito's immediately gonna, the alarm bells are gonna go off immediately. He knows why you need this charge, right? Now, it's not a big deal. If you skip the charge right now, at some point Oats can go back and get it, right? But the difference here is Nito actually just knows it's in logic. But you know, it might not even really be saving him time because, you know, we know how the Season 4 ammo can be. There's a good chance they just end up with a lot of supers at the end. All right, so
it does let him skip a few pack of missiles though for Croc, and that way he doesn't have to worry too much about trying to fire missiles from the orbs from Croc. Yeah, so that is actually watching Nito do it now. It does not look difficult at all. You're right. So that I can definitely see that being in hard logic.
So this is one of those reasons why Nito picked Ice, right? Nito picks Ice here because Nito knows a lot of the logical things, and he's capable of doing a lot of things with Ice that a lot of other people aren't. For example, if we have to go climb up Everest, go to the right side, that's something Oats can do, but Nito has done that 1,000 times over, right? So he can do that quick. Ice clips are something he's very familiar with, and freezing that Garuda is something he's also familiar with. So, I mean, there you go. Nito's gonna have charge. However, Oats is making short work of the Croc. So for all we know, skipping that charge might not really be that big of a deal in the end, right?
Without supers on the table, though, for either of these players, charge is looking way more enticing than it ever has before.
Yep,
but
absolutely.
It really kind of comes down to whatever major this is. You have any ideas what it could be? Do you think it could just be... I don't even know.
You know, that's a good question. What was some stuff? Bombs? Screw attack? I think there were a lot of explosive issues that both these players were having. So maybe something like bombs or screw attack to get through. I'm a little surprised that Oats is... I think he's scared, so he might... Yeah, I think he's going to save before going for this because he's a little bit nervous about this. Because I was going to say, you would want to jump for it before... you would want to go for this before the farm so that you get your health back on the Croc kill. But he's just going to go save because I think he's not 100% sure if you can make it. You should be able to with Varia, but I understand taking this sort of precaution. But I believe Nito's just going to go straight for it. So we'll see.
Nito's definitely going to go straight for it because he knows exactly how much health that's going to take away from him.
Yep.
Yep. Insane seed experience that's paying off here, knowing exactly how much health he needs to do what. It is very good knowledge to have, absolutely. So this is actually going to set Oats back just a little bit. Not going to quite sure.
Nope,
say
there you go.
he's
He
in the
doesn't
lead.
know either. Maybe he's also going to save.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. He's calculating.
I was going to say, he was waiting, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah. This is one death you don't want to take against someone, especially against somebody with Oats and Goats' prowess and map rando and movement in general. So it's space jump.
Okay.
Interesting. Do you think Oats is probably going to run straight back on the charge?
Yeah, he might do that. This is actually interesting because what do you take the space jump for? It appears there's a good chance that they have not yet found where they're supposed to go next, right? So this space jump probably unlocks some sort of can fly room. So they're probably just going to have to blind until they find a room that the space jump is required for.
I think it's got to be Torian. I think it has to be Torian. Oats is going to make his way over to Meridia now. Yeah. Torian is unlocked. We got heat room. We got missiles now. Yeah, I think it's going to be Torian.
Yeah. So both these players definitely should be thinking, okay, what does the space jump unlock, right? And Oats is now in Meridia. So Nito did a little bit of this earlier, but I think he got locked out. And I don't know if Oats has taken a save recently. So yeah, there you go. So Nito also running across. I think also not entirely sure if he can make it across, but the space jump, makes it a little bit trivial. And Nito, I think positionally at this point is just going to be a little bit ahead. So we're going to have to see how he approaches this. Now, here's an interesting tidbit, right? I didn't quite get to see, but it looks like they did find a potential sandpit because they found that Batoon hallway, right?
Oh, true. Yeah.
And so what does space jump potentially open up? Now, there is a sand hall. There is a sand pit that if you only have high jump, it's not in logic and hard because that requires a pretty precise break free technique to get out. However, high jump plus space jump would make that sand pit in particular in logic. So there is a world where maybe you should be a little suspicious of the sand pit that you saw in the Batoon tank hallway. I didn't quite get to look at the configuration, but there is a world where that's what you have to do to get out as well.
Absolutely. Specifically the West Hand Hall itself. Oats goes now just kind of find a way everything that Nito ran his face into earlier, finding out that supers are the answer for Meridia. Big Pink has been found, but there's no access to it without super missiles. Nito now finding his way into Torian. First time into Torian. Here we go. So blocked by heat, blocked by a power bomb door, is looking awfully suspicious. And another hub, business center. Okay.
Oh,
and the freest map. Could be Fantoon.
Could be Fantoon, yep.
Fantoon Lover's Hold. That's nobody, by the way.
Hey, I like Fantoon. There
he is. I like Fantoon. I don't like fighting Fantoon. At least not in my current state. Fantoon's been tragic. And it can be for a lot of people. I know Oats had a couple of tragic Fantoons in this last matchup, or two matchups ago against myself. Nito's typically pretty clean on it, so we're going to take a look and see how he's feeling, how he's doing on these bosses. First objective on the screen.
Oats is saving, and he is also going to head into Turian right here. It's pretty... This seed is a little dicey, right? You have 0 E-tanks this entire time, basically. And yeah, you're going to have to do a fight. So this fight, it's interesting because Nito is not primarily a speedrunner. He did come from originally playing map rando. So this is where Oats is going to get potentially an advantage on this Fantoon fight. With the extra missiles that he has as well, is actually even capable of literally one-rounding Fantoon. I don't know if maybe he'll give it a try, but like totally capable of it with this sort of ammo.
Now that you mentioned no tanks, there's typically a filler tank in these hard trickies. Where would the filler tank have been? I guess just way off to the right.
Yeah, there was a tank. There was the morph ball room to the bottom right. I don't know if they could have reached it or not, but I did see a circle there, so that could have potentially been the filler tank. But it was a little bit out of the way. So given that they both have Varia, I could see them just not going for it because without Varia, usually the filler tank isn't as important.
Yeah.
But here we go. Nito taking care of Fantoon. Oats is coming up right up, and Nito is going to get the map. Let's see what they have to do. We're looking for a super, so any X's, keep your eyes peeled.
Yep. And another connector. We also got Mickey Mouse into the right, a singular X on this map, and that is it. Another connector into Meridia, probably going to be the top of the Criteria Pirate Shaft.
Yeah.
Nito can recognize that. He can find X-ray, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be necessarily useful. Ooh, a missed Doppler from Oats.
You know, this is looking like you got to go to Meridia. There's only really tanks, and there was one X, but it's guarded by a super block, the only way in. So, oh, is this safe? There was a save recently. Oh, the X-ray.
Yeah, this is safe. They've already peeked it from the bottom side.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Oats is not getting the Dopplers that he wanted. This is maybe going to be a 4-round. If he nails this huge Doppler, he can make this 3, but otherwise it's going to be a 4. That looks like a 3. Yeah.
There he goes. Nice 3 round. Nice recover. All right, so Nito didn't have the ammo to check this door the last time. He's going to now find out that Big Pink, the super block crawl, the morph tunnel is going to be on the other side of this door. Cannot do it. Shakes his head. And this seed has wound up being pretty tragic.
Yeah, it's a spicy seed.
We love to see it, folks. We love to see it. All right, now, getting the X-ray, I can't see that being in logic for anything that we've seen so far. No ice clips, nothing super fancy yet. Yeah, this is looking crazy. We do have Criteria to the top left-hand side, but I don't know if they can get there. Yes, because they have ice. Only 5 Powerball makes it really tragic to go up the red key into stairs, but I think it is possible.
It would be a risk.
Definitely risky.
Yeah, you're not expected to have to go through those key hunters. I mean, I guess you have some tanks in logic, so with enough tanks, assuming the bottom right tank is in logic, then maybe just barreling the key hunters is something that they can do. That would be pretty crazy, but it could theoretically be possible. It looks like Nito's going to go ahead and blind this right side. And this will be interesting because when I looked at this configuration a second ago, it kind of looks like that these might not be the pits. I think he's just choosing to blind the right side of it because there's actually not much left we can do at this point.
Exactly.
So I think Oats is also staring and he's like, what is going on? There's not much we can do, right? So I think Oats may follow suit soon enough. There is the red door at the bottom left of the shaft, right? But this is one of those things where you get a little nervous because like everything you're doing is wrong. But realistically, like both of these players kind of did the things that made sense, and they were all kind of punished, right? Now,
okay, well there you go.
Space Jump opened this up. Space Jump opened this up.
Exactly what we were looking for. What does Space Jump put in logic?
Yep.
And here's your answer. Perfect. Okay. It's got to be a run-through save here.
Wait, is this a two-sided save though? It is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so good chance that Nito is progressing properly here. That's kind of spooky, though. There is a save.
You're very.
And it looks like Oats may be following suit soon enough. But here we go. I think we're going to see something important here. It's the bombs. Bombs.
Okay.
That's telling me...
It's... No way it's going to put Criterion logic, right?
Well, I think it's probably one of those, what is that? It's probably one of those, oh man, and so Oats is taking blinding this bottom door first, right? That might be one of the gauntlet rooms. I think there was a gauntlet room that both players did not do. Yeah, Oats is getting confused. He's basically just right behind Nito, right? Because the next thing he's gonna blind is Bottoon hallway. Oats just chose to do this red door first, and Nito chose to do the other one first. If you get bombs, right, and you already have Space Jump, which is probably in logic, then it's not about what bombs can do to propel you up. It's going to be what you only have 4 power bombs, right? So what could you not have done before? It's probably going through one of the gauntlet rooms. There was the Spazer that they kind of could have gotten, but it would have been awkward, right? But I believe there was another gauntlet room back in Brinstar, maybe, that they didn't want to do because committing to that could just be an instant soft lock if you don't have the power bombs on the way back.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Chat's saying that Mickey Mouse is now going to be put in logic because of the bombs. I didn't quite remember the layout of
I don't believe so.
what Torian looked like.
Yeah, so I think the reason why Mickey Mouse wasn't doable is because the way to get to Mickey Mouse is you have to go up the elevator and then you get hit by Crade Mouth. And the Crade Mouth door, you need supers to get to the right. So I don't believe there was a path into Mickey Mouse. Now, obviously, these players could clip it, and that would be, you know, maybe Nito's the only one that would ever be willing to do something like that. But I don't believe it's that. So I have a feeling it might be a gauntlet room that we saw earlier. Now, we could look a little bit more, but this is one of those things where you kind of have to read the logic as best you can. And given that we have space jump and can fly is not what we need, it doesn't seem to be a bomb jump. It appears that the game may not be giving us more, you know, and if I was, you did
Oats
save.
is laughing.
If
He's
I'm Oats,
right
you
now.
might want to think about going down here. Yeah, and he is. Because you could just load. You did have a save not too long ago. And it's a door down here.
It's an elevator. It's going far, but if this leads to something else.
You know what's crazy? I don't think Nito checked the spazer, right? So he's gonna see spazer and be like, "What?"
He's keeping it
yeah,
for the
he's
people.
Pretty disappointed about that
for
one.
For the chat. He's keeping it for the chat. You know he is. For you, for us.
And look
Man
at
of
this.
the people himself.
Oats finds early supers. I don't think it's gonna happen. It has supers. It has supers. Okay.
Oats is not feeling good about this though. He saw that super pack. He reeled his head back like he got punched in the face. You know what I mean?
I don't think he realizes. I don't think he realizes what a good position he's in. Now, here's the thing, Spiffy. I think Oats is probably confused. This is an instance where I believe, for those who don't know how the logic works, right? What the game tries to do is it has a list of key items. We usually call them majors, but key items would be, you know, like non-beams. Right, in hard tricky it'll be non-beams, it'll be like, you know, bombs or something, right? But we're out here trying to think like, what does bombs unlock, right? And I was also thinking, what does bombs unlock? The only thing I can think of is like, you don't have any more power bombs and it unlocks a bunch of extra rooms. I think what happened here is this is how the logic can work. It laid down the bombs, it filled up some other rooms with minor items, and one of them was super missiles, right? And so the bombs actually doesn't give the progression, even though it's the key item.
Oh my god!
The filler
what a
super,
pog
I
baby
believe.
skip.
That was a good baby skip.
Yeah, it was a great baby skip. Holy crap!
So the bombs were not actually, even though they were the major item. I think it's actually the supers that gave logic, because that's how it works. It slams a key item down, it slams fillers, and then it goes, okay, what unlocks? Oh, cool. The game can now progress. So even though the bombs were available, I think it's the supers that ultimately were what gave progression here. And
yeah, I think you're
Oats is far ahead
right
here at this point.
Yeah, Nito is going to be shambling for these supers for a long time, unless he somehow finds another pack elsewhere. But it's not looking highly likely because they've already been essentially everywhere else. Is Nito going to go take his Spacer Beam back and perhaps check the bottom of Precious Room? We don't know.
Yeah, you know, this is kind of like this is a pretty like high level thing, right? But
absolutely.
You know what's crazy? Because Oats checked the Spacer early and knew it was exactly Spacer, right? Like Nito gets the bombs and he's like, oh, this is obvious. We use these bombs to get through Gauntlet, right? We just go through Gauntlet. That's my next progression item. I'm following logic, right? But Oats found Spacer. So Oats knows that was not actually progression, right? And therefore Oats was like, what do I do? So he's like, okay, I'm in Precious Room. I just saved. It's a little bit of a risk, but I know that a gravity jump down Precious is now in hard logic, right? So yes, I'm gonna go down here. Now Nito abandoned all of that because he's like, oh, the bombs opens up the Gauntlet, and he's paying the price for it. I don't know how long it's gonna take him to get supers, but this is looking really, really good for Oats right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's another one of those baits. You know, sometimes you just got to keep going forward, no matter if you find something that you think is progression or not. Just like if you go across like Botchwin E-Tank and you find something that you need, like speed booster, and you're right next to the landing ship. Do you keep going to the right, or do you go back to the left, the landing site where you know speed booster gives you can fly? Do you go to the top right? I don't know.
Yep.
This is shockingly enough, like they honestly like a lot of the times you keep going after you find that first step of progression, you might find a filler tank or two or something like that. And in this case, Oats just finds what we believe it to be the correct logic. North Fair map. Okay.
I think we saw Ridley over there. Maybe that was just GT. But look at what Nito's doing. This is what I thought opened up with bombs. But I think, like I said, I think the bombs were ultimately a red herring. I mean, we'll confirm to see what happens when Nito gets here. Finding Dragon. So now he knows that Dragon's not the... He's confused. He's confused because Dragon is not in logic right now.
Is he just going to go ahead and
he's going to do it.
Thinks?
He's going to do it. I think this is really bad for Nito.
This is extremely bad.
Yeah.
A slow, low ammo fight.
Yeah.
Very slow.
Absolutely die right here.
Yes, absolutely. So Oats now going to go ahead and take the bowling route. Phantom's down. Bowling is open. Another major down to the bottom right of North Fair here. And another Meridia connector to the left-hand side from North Fair as well.
Yep. Oh, this fight is going to be like really
so slow. Well, as Oats takes a 36-second AFK. Go make a sandwich, grab a drink, maybe a Diet Coke.
Now,
this stream not sponsored by Diet Coke, by the way.
I want to reiterate. I think if Nito had checked for the Spazer early, he may also have just jumped down Precious Room. And the reason why is because Nito just immediately was like, okay, I got bombs. What does the bombs get me, right? Like, once again, the bombs were basically a bait. It was the key item, but it was not what provided the progression. What provided the progression was the supers on the same step as the bombs. Oats, having gotten the Spazer earlier, was significantly less incentivized to go back to the singular gauntlet room that requires bombs, basically. Which is what Nito did. But you know, if there was no, if that was just a straight up dead end, then this would be exactly where Oats would have headed to next, because not much else was unlocked with the bombs.
Yeah, absolutely. And so now Oats is just kind of cleaning up North Fair after finding that map. Gets the screw attack. Gonna make his way just to basically everywhere he can, and probably just gonna end up wrapping his way back into Meridia, where he knows Big Pink is. And that's another set of items, 3 items there. Nito still on this fight. I forgot to time this thing, but this is not a fast fight.
Oh, it's not a fast fight at all.
Yeah. 100 damage per missile, 6,000 health per Dragon. No underwater movement, no supers. All tragedy. And Ridley on the left-hand side.
Yep, Ridley to the left of GT, which was pretty funny.
That looks like... Okay. Not GT lock though. It's not a one-way.
No, it is not. Sure. Yeah, he can get up. He can get up both ways. He could just do a little gravity jump up from the Coliseum to make his way up there. Oats is trying to figure out how he can get the resources to kill Ridley here. I believe is North Fair isolated down here. I don't know if I saw any other entrances. If that's the case, Oats is the kind of person that really wants to make sure that he can kill Ridley before leaving, which kind of feels like what he's doing right now.
Yeah, he's checking a lot of X's for sure. Plenty of X's to be had. Already up to 15 supers. And he does know where Charge Beam is, but he's already got 35 missiles and 15 supers. It looks like an ammo route for Oats this time around. Nito, on the other hand, already grabbed that charge pretty early on. Only 15 missiles, 0 supers. So
Yep.
Now, with that high jump and X-ray, do you think he's going to go for that tank in the top right aqueduct? No speed booster yet. I'm surprised he didn't.
Are you talking about Oats?
Yeah. Or maybe he just felt confident enough without that tank. There's plenty of other stuff around.
Yeah. I don't think Oats is going to really go out of his way for an extra tank at this point. He's going to be confident in doing Ridley. I mean, if he had to do Ridley on 0 tanks, he would with the Varia suit. Not the best, but like that's what he would do. Nito, I think, kind of realizes he's out of logic, so he's trying to find supers out of logic here. And if he does, that could be really big. Very possible. Very possible for supers to be around here. Extremely possible because, yeah, once you break logic, it's not uncommon.
Yeah.
Okay. Gets the missiles.
Once you break logic, the C just kind of puts the filler items, including ammo fillers, once you get the first logical. All the rest of the ammo types become filler, and it could just willy-nilly put it around. A dead end save, not what he wanted at all. But he does have Dragon down.
He does.
Oats does not know where Dragon is. Still has to find Dragon, but with all the ammo doors unlocked now, and not really much else standing in his way, except for maybe pants room. Yeah, grapple stuff, speed locks. Yes, that's another big one. So yeah, Oats won't be able to find Dragon quickly yet. Also gotta go up ice Oh, ice high jump.
This. Yeah, he's gonna climb this to get the map.
Absolutely.
All right, nice little wall jumps again on the fish.
Lean.
We'll see this climb to get up there. Now, this is going to be pretty interesting, right? Now, the problem is, I just don't really see what Nito can do. Nito really needs to find like a super missile randomly, right?
Absolutely.
That was kind of maybe his last hope of finding a random super missile, which was going to be right to the left, to the right of Dragon, right? Because that fight is out of logic. And so when it's out of logic, then it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna just place all the super missiles over here because, you know, the game doesn't really like, you know, it doesn't really like care at that point, right? Because it's like you shouldn't be able to do this without having gotten the super missiles in the first place, right? But unfortunately, after Nito gets back from this way, he might be forced to just go back to Precious Room where Oats got his supers and just follow the same path. In which case, he's just gonna be behind.
Yeah, very far behind. 2 majors in Big Pink. Plenty of X's. Wow. Okay. And the landing site. So he has actually seen most of Meridia already, but with such plentiful X's around, I think he might actually just find his Ridley Go mode here. I saw 2 majors and what looked like to be at least 3 X's around the Big Pink area.
Yeah, this is it is a little weird though. It's funny because this all connects back to like the wreck ship Turian area, right? So like Oats doesn't feel, Oats has got it. He's probably not feeling that great because he's probably thinking like, you know what? I think Nito would have just gotten that charge, right?
And there's gravity. That's huge. That is, things are looking really bad for Nito.
Yeah, I mean it's already looking really bad because I think Nito literally has no recourse. I think Nito just has to go back to Precious Room. So there's no outs, right? The moment that Nito grabbed that bombs and left, I think he was basically cooked. Unless he can see some unless he can see some other route, but I don't even know if there was anything else to do at that point, right? I'm not gonna say Oats is feeling like the absolute best because
he's not.
Yeah,
he's definitely
left behind
not.
the charge. He left behind the charge. Like right at this point, you have charge. You're going back. You would have went back a long time ago, right? But he can't be feeling too bad because after collecting this X, he should be able to kill Ridley regardless, even if this is just a power bomb. But Oats is gonna go back and clear out the rest of the game, probably. So.
Yeah, still have to find Dragon. The only cope I think we could actually see for Nito was him somehow blinding Varia. I'm not Varia. Gravity after Dragon somehow, but that was a very short-lived dream as a pit room and a dead end save was the only thing past Dragon.
Yep.
Yeah, few more missiles. I don't think he's gonna go for Watering Hole. That's awfully far. However, he might go for it in fear of speed locks because he doesn't know where Dragon is, and I also guess that he doesn't know where Crate is. Speed locks is a real fear. Does he go for it? He might, but at the same time, he's feeling probably pretty far behind not finding supers until what seemed like the 20-25 minute mark.
Are you talking about Oats?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Oats.
Grapple for Pants Room. He's got ice and gravity now, so Pants Room and X-ray. So Pants Room is no problem. However, speed locks is most definitely still a problem. Yeah. I don't think we've seen many speed locks. We haven't seen the Frog Speedway, right?
Yeah. Oh boy, this is getting real interesting. I think Nito is going to go ahead and it looks like he's going to try to go to Criteria. Yeah. So I can respect this play. This is out of logic, so once again, I think Nito actually has a solid chance of finding supers in Criteria if he can get through this without dying. However, logistically, positionally, this is, even if this works out, he gets the supers, even if he gets like speed and all the best items he could possibly get. It's not gonna be gravity because we know that is, right? Positionally, this is not gonna work out well because I think Mother Brain's up here, right?
Yes.
So he has to go to the
by
bottom
process
of
of elimination, yes.
Yeah, he has to go to the bottom of the world to go kill Ridley at some point. So, unfortunately, this ain't gonna be that good for him. Even if he gets everything that he wants, like all the things that are possible, even if Grav were up here and Oats weren't, if Oats didn't get Grav and Grav was up here, I think he'd still be in trouble.
It's already looking pretty stacked, though.
Yep. And Nito made his way over to Criteria. Now, all of this game so far can be traced back to, honestly, potentially the spazer that Oats checked, right? Because once again, Nito gets the bombs and he goes, oh, we don't have that many power bombs. I can now bomb out all the blocks that I saw in these gauntlet rooms, right? There are 2 gauntlet rooms, one had a major. And so Nito is like, I'm not going to waste any more time here. I'm going to go back to what I think is logic. And Oats, having seen the spazer, there's only, I don't even know if he necessarily recognized or remembered, but there was only one other gauntlet room that would be unlocked with bombs. And just said, you know what, I gotta dive this precious room and see if this is anything. And it was. So, Nito getting grapple here though. And it doesn't really unlock anything for him, so he's gonna continue. And Oats is gonna make his way over and kill Ridley, I believe.
I think in Nito's situation here, he found the grapple. Maybe he's hoping to find Pants Room because Space Jump basically takes care of most other grapple rooms.
Yeah, he
probably
did
just
find space. There's the supers.
And there's his
He's shaking
supers.
his head. He's shaking his head. Yeah.
Nito supers 39 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yep.
And he's gonna find the Heartbreak Hotel when he finds Mother Brain. Oh no, Kraid's up here with another wraparound to Brinstar. 2 more majors. We know that's probably just gonna be what? Spring Ball and Wave. Maybe Speed Booster.
That's bad.
Speed Booster Cope. Speed Lock Cope. Speed Lock Cope.
Oh, that's bad, Spiffy. That's bad.
It's very bad. It's absolutely
he's got to go to
terrible.
Bryn, right? He's gonna kill Kraid and go to Bryn, right? And then he's just gonna find Mother Brain alone. And guess who's at the bottom of the world? The last objective before Mother Brain. So.
Yep. And Oats, on the other hand, gonna clean up Ridley, make his way up to Brinstar, probably get that map. Gonna find the connector to Criteria and Dragon on that Brinstar map, and he's just gonna be sweeping through these objectives now.
Yep. Looks like
Oats misses a lot of missiles. Cope. No, never mind. Blink and Ridley's already gone. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. There's exactly 0 cope I can think for Nito to come back and take this win.
The only thing is if there was some isolated major that Oats missed, but I think he's literally gotten every major, right? So
Yep.
Yeah. I wonder if Oats also forgot about the charge beam. Because
He might have also forgot about it.
I think he forgot about it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's cringing a little bit. I think he forgot. Because, like, he got a lot of ammo, right? He got, like, a lot of ammo. This is, like, way more than you need, right? Maybe he just found it along the way, but, like, that charge is literally on the way to the Brinstar map, which he did see.
It really is.
Yeah, so, you know, he has Ice Plasma, so, like, you don't really want to, like, collect 30 supers if that's the case. He did sort of grimace a little bit, so I'm wondering if he kind of realized that might have been the case. That's too high. He can't unmorph in that position.
So actually, Kraid is actually really close to the Torian entrance. He might opt to go back to Norfair or Meridia with his newfound Super Nito, that is. Because Kraid is on the bottom right-hand side, pretty close to that Torian entrance, while Brinstar, he's already been up to Brinstar and taken out Dragon. He might just avoid it because it's actually really, really far away on this Criteria map.
Yeah, I mean, as long as Nito just basically needs to find his way over to Norfair as fast as possible to get that Ridley. That is definitely what if you're rooting for Nito here, you need to see him find his way over to Norfair ASAP because currently he's really far away from it.
And in Norfair is the Plasma and Gravity suit as well. He already has charge, so he doesn't have to worry about any kind of ammo. Yep. Oats, on the other hand, just sweeping his way up the world.
Yep. Still has to find Dragon, though. That wasn't Brinstar, which he's going to see after getting the Brinstar map after charge.
And it's not going to be fast either, because I believe that the Brinstar map was to the left hand, or Dragon was to the far bottom right.
Yes.
And then you also have to go, you're going to find that Criteria entrance. It's going to wrap around into Kraid, which is actually pretty far away from the map as well.
Yep. So in this case, Nito blinding the Dre was pretty powerful. The problem is the Dre fight itself was really slow. But Oats is basically going to get the Brinstar map, find out that Dre is at the very bottom right, make his way over, backtrack, do that. gonna do the exact same thing for Kraid because Nito also had to do that. Probably not gonna feel good about it the entire time, but yeah, still Nito. If he could somehow not go into Bryn here and go to Norfair instead.
Bryn's actually far from this position. So, but I don't know if he wants to go right back through Fish or Ricky Under Stairs as well as Fish Tank as well.
So what is Nito going to do? Because we know where Oats is going.
This decision here could just seal the deal. I mean, it looks pretty sealed already, but you can't. While you expect your opponent to play perfectly, and you assume so, that's not always the case. Oats is probably feeling the exact same way right now. He's probably feeling Nito's extremely far ahead. In the weekly races and all those pickup races that we do, Nito's usually, what, top 3 finish almost every time?
Yep.
So he's definitely feeling Oats is definitely feeling the pressure here.
Okay, so look at this. Nito is heading down back into Criteria, right?
No, he's left Criteria. He's back in Torian now.
Yeah, sorry.
No,
he's heading into he's in Turian and sorry, he left Criteria, heading into Turian and maybe making his way back down into the Norfair entrance and not the Bryn entrance.
Norfair.
So it looks like that's where he's going, right? So let's see how this turns out. Oats still has a few bosses to kill. But Nito is going backwards, effectively, right?
Yes. So we can pretty much guesstimate exactly what Oats is going to do. He's going to go in the Brinstar. No, he's going to go to Torian. He's going to make his way into Criteria first, which is not actually that bad. Nice little pivot save here if he wants it.
Wait a second. Where was... Do I have this all mixed up? Where was Brinstar? Where Brinstar was where Dragon was, right?
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Where was Mother Brain?
We don't know. Neither of them got the Brinstar map, but by process of elimination, it has to be Brinstar.
Okay, so Brinstar has both Mother Brain and Dragon. Then that's the case, right? Okay. Where was the other Brinstar entrance? Because they both were in Brinstar. That's where Nito... Unless I'm remembering this incorrectly, right?
No, you remember it right. We started Rex Ship, and then we got power bombed, and then to the very north of Rex Ship is a Brinstar entrance up the elevator.
Okay.
It's where you thought we needed Spazer for an up door.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually Oats opting to go to Criteria first might be a little faster. Actually, a little slower. I take that back, a little slower because the map is even further away. Nito realizing that he's actually falling behind pretty bad, finding that gravity suit here after all that water moving he's already done.
Yeah.
So without Oats blinding Kraid here in Criteria, he's going to be on a little bit of a slower path. Not too slow, albeit, but slower still probably.
So this does have a connector to Brinstar at the very top, right? But from my understanding, that's going to be near the map. And then the Dragon is going to be near the bottom right. I think positionally, it seems that Mother Brain is towards the top left of Brinstar, and then Dragon is on the bottom right. So after Oats takes care, Oats is going to have to do a lot of zigzags, right? He's going to actually go up for this map. He's going to have to go back down for Kraid, and then I think he's going to go back up to Brinstar. And then once he gets to Brinstar, he's going to get the map and then go all the way back down for Dragon, and then back to Mother Brain. So there's a lot of like back and forth here. Right.
My question is, why didn't I think it just solidifies the fact that we thought that Oats forgot charge, because he could have just grabbed charge on the way back up to Brinstar and went that path instead.
That's kind of what I was thinking, but yeah, I guess he's just, maybe this was some sort of gamble, or maybe there's always a possibility that we misread something, but well,
he doesn't exactly need it either, not anymore.
Yeah, I just thought he was gonna go for the Brinstar map, but it looks like he wanted to go to Criteria. This is interesting because is
the rare non-charged plasma X-ray. Let's go.
Is Nito coming back potentially?
For Brinstar,
he's going straight to Norfair. Nito's going. He's not doing anything. He's going right to Norfair. He's got the grav, right?
Absolutely, yeah. He is. He knows that he's in go mode. There's nothing else he needs from this game at all. He just looking for objectives, and he knows Norfair is one of the biggest zones. Plus, there's a connector to it on the bottom side, so that's definitely where he's going. But I don't think it'll be enough.
Where was Kraid? Kraid's right here in Criteria, right? Now here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So Kraid's right here in Criteria. Oats gonna go kill Kraid, right? Brinstar has Dragon and Motherbrain, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But Oats still has to get the Brinstar map.
Yeah,
and that
that's
Brinstar,
true.
look how long it takes to get the Brinstar. That's a long path.
Mm-hmm. And the map is not that far away in Norfair that I thought from this entrance, so this could end up being a little close. It's just so that Nito's in the complete opposite side of the world, but he only had one objective left.
He does.
Really close to where he is now, but Oats has two. He's going for one right now, and the other is still unknown to him.
This is really gonna depend on where Motherbrain might be positionally, right?
Mm-hmm.
In relation to Dragon. Now, I kind of wish Oats did the Brinstar play and got the charge, because then you could just microwave the Dre. I mean, it's gonna be fast, right? But like right now, every second counts. Nito has like almost everything he needs to beat the game. Although Nito also has to get the Brinstar map. But Oats isn't gonna blind Brinstar. Oats has no incentive to, right? The only reason why Nito blinded the Dragon was because he was desperate for an answer to find super missiles that Oats found earlier. So this is interesting because Nito's not gonna have to do a zigzag in Brinstar to get to Motherbrain. He's gonna get the map and go straight to Motherbrain, which should be near the map. Whereas Oats is gonna kill this Kraid, gonna go to Brinstar, gonna get the map, go all the way down for Dre, go all the way back up to Motherbrain.
Now this begs the question, is he actually closer to the wrecked ship Brinstar entrance, or is he closer to this one here in Criteria? It's gotta be this one, right? Because I don't think that Torian had a connector to Brinstar. If you go through Torian, you have to go all the way back through wrecked ship, I think. If I remember the map correctly.
We'll have to see, yeah.
So he's making his way back into Torian.
Huh. Making his way back to Torian. So is this closer to get to Brinstar than the other entrance?
I don't know. It seemed a little more clear that if you just stay in Criteria.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to see, because yeah, Oats has to make his way over to Brinstar.
Yeah, but Nito actually on this Ridley with charged plasma ice, gonna make up for every shot to super. Already shot a few supers into Ridley for the opener, and it's actually gonna be a little bit slower than Oats, but yeah, this is if Oats can't find Dragon quickly.
He's not going to. I think
you're right. I didn't see exactly where the map was in Brinstar, but if it's as far as you say,
it's a little bit past the charge beam. It's a little bit past the charge beam. I really thought he was gonna go get the charge beam and then go up to the next one. I think Nito might be ahead.
Well, he doesn't have the Brinstar map either, but he only has to find Motherbrain. Yeah, it's close for sure.
But yeah, it sort of depends where Motherbrain is, right? I think it depends, because if Motherbrain is near Dre, then Nito doesn't, because Nito right now found Dre, right? And if Motherbrain happens to be by Dre, which I don't know if it's possible, because Nito kind of scoured a lot of the bottom right? If Motherbrain's near the top left where the map is, which is most likely, then what happens is Oats gets the map, has to backtrack for Dre, then has to backtrack for Motherbrain. Whereas Nito is going to basically immediately go to the map and then probably find Motherbrain.
Oh, he's thinking about it.
Where's he going?
This is an ain't no way Oats blinds Dre, right? There's no chance.
No, there's no chance. There's literally no. That was out of pure desperation.
It was looking for it just like a second.
It was literally because Nito felt the progression had to be in that direction, right?
Yeah. Even though he knew it wasn't with 15 missiles only, no gravity.
Yes. So right now we know that Oats is going away from Dragon.
Yes, absolutely.
He is going to be able to microwave Dre.
But Nito is also actually just kind of completely on the other side of the world, as about as far away from Motherbrain as you can be. Got a lot of world to traverse.
Yep. Okay, so
Nice little pivot save from Oats there. That pivot save might actually be what give Oats the edge. Because that's not too far away from Dre, honestly.
But now his map is up, down. Right? Yeah, he has to go up. I wonder if Oats went to Criteria as a gamble. I just really thought he was.
He was feeling very far behind, and he loves to take those gambles, right?
Yeah.
Especially in a 1v1 situation.
It's hard to know, but I don't know if Oats realized the supers were like the logic for them was extremely strange, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Where is Mother Brain? It should be it's probably connected to the wreck ship shaft where he is right now. It is
pretty
right.
Close.
Okay, but there's this nice shortcut. The shortcut to get to Dre is really quick. You just have to take the speed booster hull, and you're right there. So Oats is gonna microwave Dre because he has the charge now, and then he's gonna head to Mother Brain. Whereas Nito is going to get the map and just walk straight back to Mother Brain.
Yeah.
So where are they positionally? This is really close.
Yeah, Nito is in red ship.
Nito is gunning it straight. Yeah.
Yeah. He's just got to go straight up to Brinstar, and I actually want to give the lead to Nito.
This
Nito,
is really
I think,
close,
is slightly ahead.
Yeah.
This is crazy. What a crazy game one, y'all.
So keep in mind,
not playing the waiting game.
Oats does have 5 bajillion supers, right?
True.
So that Mother Brain is gonna be really fast. Now, this is gonna sound kind of crazy, but like there's a world where Oats might want to consider keeping the spike suit and sparking across. Oh, everything here matters.
Everything matters.
Every second here really matters.
This is Nito's already. So Nito just took the lead. He literally just took the lead. He got to go get the map still, but he's gonna get that pivot save and
That's a real spike suit. That's a very real spike suit. Oats doesn't have the health though, so he actually needs to start collecting health. He's gonna grab that health. He's gonna spark across and be right next to Mother Brain, but he needs a little bit of extra health on top of it as well. This is gonna be really close. You can see Oats is actually saving this to get through Cox Speedway. Oats can't waste any time at this point if he wants to catch up because Nito still does have to get the map though. He might try to blind this, but I don't think he's going to. So now Oats needs to spark this. He's going to.
Nito skip the pivot save.
Now Oats has to farm. Now here's the thing. I think Oats should be in the lead because 33 shots or 23 shots is very real. 33 shots on top of those supers, well, like more like 25 shots is very real. Oats is just gonna smoke Mother Brain with the supers, basically, right?
Yeah.
So Oats is just farming up. He's just trying to get a little bit of health. He needs 300 health. This is so
there's
close.
A full save. There's full farm to the right of Mother Brain. If he wants to take, you have to get through the morph tunnel and wreck ship shaft, and then the supers gate and Big Pink connected to Big Pink. There's a full refill over there, but I don't think he wants to worry about it.
No, he's just. Oh no, he's just gonna go. He's just gonna go. He's gonna say, "I can do this on 326." If he has to, he can Crystal Flash as well. If he has to, he can Crystal Flash.
True, and I think that's what his backup plan is gonna be for sure.
Yep.
And oh my God, folks, what a game one! Oats going for it, and he goes for it. Oh, shot an extra super there, but that's okay.
So let's see if he uses only 18 supers here.
No.
If he's
any
conservative.
Former any percent world record holder, Oats and good. He's probably just gonna blast it all.
Yep. Otherwise, it's just
feeling he's gonna blast it all.
It's just 2. You just use 2. Yep. Okay. You just used only 2 charge shots here.
And there's the second.
Okay. All right. So Oats with the very real lead right here, because this is not the quickest fight for Nito. It's 23 charge shots with the 7 supers. And Oats with the lead.
Good lordy. Oats is waiting. He's looking at the screen right now, just waiting for that dot done. 57 minutes on a seed like this. He knows he a real chance he just got cooked, but he doesn't know that Nito took a wrong turn. Well, not necessarily a wrong turn, but a very, very slow Dragon fight.
Yeah.
2 minutes, 15 seconds on that. Very far escape. This is crazy.
I really want to ask him why he chose to go to Criteria on that second choice, right? Because
absolutely,
by all
I have it marked out on my notes. I'm gonna have you ask him later if I don't make the game free.
By all intents and purposes, Oats had no shot of losing this race, right? But he did choose to go Criteria. I don't know if that was a divergence play or something else. Oats is trying to figure out where the map is. where the ship is. That was a long pause, right?
It's in Meridia. Meridia, the far bottom left of the world. He's not going to go through Kateria to get through Torian to Meridia. He's just going to go straight back to where he knows. He's going to leave with the way he came in the Brimstar, which is through Rex ship, and then there were a few connections to Meridia. Actually, yeah, a few connections to Meridia, I think.
You know, keep in mind, like, this is like, you know, this is a pretty long escape, right? Like,
yeah, it's very long.
At this point, if Oats somehow were to fail to escape, that is lights out for sure. You cannot fail to escape in this situation. That would be game over. So he needs to get this right. As long as he gets the route right, I think even if he pauses excessively here, it's going to be hard for Nito to catch up because he has a pretty strong positional lead.
And not to mention the extra timer from the escape, an extra 50% timer compared to an optimal routing. So yeah, because the timer was so ridiculously long, it just leaves even more time to make mistakes and still be able to return from and clear that the escape just in time, very comfortably. But yeah, one failed escape, it's gonna be rough.
Right, Oats heading to Turian.
Gonna find the top hand entrance of Meridia here. He's gonna end up opt to go through the Kateria pirate shaft.
Gonna do a bunch of quick falls. Right, exiting out this left side.
Honestly, just a few rooms away from the ship. Big pink here, and I think it's like 3 or 4 more rooms.
Heading up Big Pink. Gonna head out the top of Big Pink here as well. And it looks like that's gonna lead to the bottom of the ship. So barring some sort of act of God, it looks like Oats is going to be taking game 1.
Get your GGs in the chat for Oats and Goats. Ooh, you know Oats was sweating that one.
I saw him slap that done button. I've never seen him
so
slap a done button faster than my entire life. He swung his hand over and hit that with 1,000
He might have broke
force.
his keyboard. Man, what a race. You know he was not feeling that one. No cheers. He just felt like, man, what happened to Nito? And then
well, there it is.
Nito sees the bad news, I think. Keeping it cool, keeping it calm. Shake it off and go to the next one.
Yep. Nito finishing
especially
with time 101.08. Game 1 to Oats.
And what was Oats' official time?
Oats' official time was 1 hour and 31 minutes.
Oh my gosh. Sheesh. Just a 38-second difference, huh?
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was a wicked seat. It really was.
I cannot believe it was that close after what happened to Nito. I can't imagine that these players know what happened exactly, right? Because from Oats' perspective, he probably isn't thinking about like, oh, I wonder how Nito lost time, and he's probably not thinking like, he probably was just thinking like, oh, the super missiles were free to find, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
If he like kind of rewinds the clock and like tries to remember what happened, I think he would understand why Nito lost so much time. But they're probably both a little bit like, they're probably thinking that both of them were like, Nito thinks Oats struggled to find supers, and Oats is just like, I don't know what happened to Nito. That's probably
which isn't wrong. He did absolutely struggle to find supers, but so did Nito. Just much more than Oats did.
Yes.
And
I'd say
all
Oats,
because he got the red herring with that bomb.
Yeah, the bombs. He just like, I'm gonna take these bombs and go somewhere else. So it's interesting, right? How that all works when you try to read the seed, but sometimes you just get tricked, right? It is cool how that works though, because I don't think Oats did anything wrong either. I think if Nito had the same perspective as Oats and saw the Spazer, I think Nito would definitely say like, you know what, I gotta probably dive this precious room while I'm here, even if that means resetting a little bit because I have the save. But Nito just was like, I'm so incentivized to leave right there. So it is interesting how that all worked out. I imagine both players don't know what happened to each other, and they're probably a little confused. But Nito probably thinks Oats had the same problem, and then Oats probably doesn't know what happened to Nito exactly, because Oats probably just felt like he was supposed to lose. But it is interesting how that will go into a game 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And Oats is probably just thinking about, oh, I finished this is going to be like an hour seed for me. There's no way that this is going to be enough to take down Nito, especially with that pause menu, 4 minutes, 45 seconds. That's not a small pause menu at all. But on a seed like this, it's just unavoidable. It really is. The world was just a very complex web, and the logic chain in the beginning, no E-tanks for what seemed like 15 minutes, getting Varia's suit, but also getting trapped into the Spader and Gauntlet, and yes, it just, oh, what a seed to watch, y'all. But don't go away. We'll be back with game 2 between the number 6 seed Oats and the number 2 seed Nito in just a minute while we take a little break, let our competitors wind down a little bit after that 1 hour and 1 minute seed. It's kind of crazy. Also, Nito shaving off a whole minute and 20 seconds off of Oats' pause menu time there with 3 minutes, 27 seconds. But yeah, don't go away, folks. We'll be right back for game number 2.
All right, welcome back to game 2 of the Super Metroid 2026 Winter Map Rando Tournament. This is the lower bracket quarterfinals between Nito and Oats. Oats taking game 1. It looks like he had a massive lead at the start, but Nito closing the gap. And Oats eking out a 1 minute win on Nito on a crazy seed. And we have random objectives for this one, game 2. So Spiffy, how do you feel about this?
This one's gonna be a doozy for sure. And random objectives, we got Nito banning Ridley, as Nito is well aware that Oats is one of the masters at riding Ridley, former 80% world champion, former low percent ice. Actually, does he still have the world
Currently
record for low percent ice?
Yep.
Yeah, so like he's extremely familiar with how tragic a Ridley fight can be. So he wants to just go ahead and get that out of the way. Well, Oats bans Acid Chozo. Doesn't want to have to deal with the health counting. Doesn't have to deal with trying to get across the acid. Falling in, taking a dip could be the difference between winning and losing. But opts to pick Spospo instead. Knows how to 2-round it. Maybe thinking that Nito doesn't. Although the people know that he does. And Nito picking Plasma Pirates. So what a start here. Just going in the top of, oh, okay, we got a nice little hub anyways. Don't typically start in one way like that, but and with there's a HUD right next door, of course, there's going to be plenty of ways to go. Nito with the power bomb door.
And I will say,
Oats,
through the power of production, we do know that the next 2 objectives are Metroid Room 2 and Metroid Room 4.
Yeah, totally didn't cheat, y'all. Don't worry.
Yeah, Oats getting a little bit ahead, just through some movement, quickly finding out that, oh, this top left door is in logic. Now, the way that Oats is doing it is not necessarily in logic, but that's how everyone does it. You would normally just do a spin jump to the left platform, but this is probably where our progression is going to be. Look at this.
Baby
That's
skip.
spicy.
You know, this reminds me of last year's tournament where Oats actually pulled off a sick no equipment baby skip that actually ended up punishing him heavily.
Yep.
You think he'll do it again?
You know what? Probably.
There's no punishment here.
Probably he'll give it a go.
He might give it a go.
So super missiles. Okay.
No looking around for supers in this seed. Those who have watched seed 1 knows just how much supers was needed in the game 1. For those who didn't, go back and watch it. It's a doozy. It's fantastic. One of the best races I've seen.
Oh, it's almost touched that Turian hopper and that would have killed it. But yeah, not trying to go for any fancy skip. He's just going to go there. Now, this is interesting. Both players have to think about once they get morph. The fact that you can take this. The starting area was that taco tank room. And there is an item there, but they cannot get it at the moment without morph. So they're going to try to open a door as fast as possible. Oats probably didn't want to use a super on the crab, but decided he wanted the health. And he's going to open this door. And he's going to go through here. Now, yeah, Oats is going to jump down now. Yep, exactly. Just have to verify that he can truly get out. And Nito...
Nito's going to take the slow way. Orb.
Nito's going to go back up. I think you can't skip that door. He's going to skip that door. Interesting. Okay. I think he had to check that door. Hopefully he's not forgetting that he doesn't have morph to get the item, which might be the case.
Most likely just wanted to make sure that he doesn't run into a room with heat. Maybe get a little farm from the
true.
first.
That makes sense. Okay. All right, well, that worked out nicely for Nito then. And Oats is going to go right back down, screw attack this. He's going to get this exact item, and then he's going to get the ceiling item. And if it's not bombs or power bombs, he's going to leave and not go through the next door. Because if you go through this left door...
Don't do it. Don't do it.
He did it.
Oh, he did it.
He started cringing the moment he went through that door because he realized what he did.
Okay, but he had a save right there,
yeah,
so we're perfectly fine. He's just laughing it up.
Yeah. So the problem is, you can get down, and there's a little crumble block. Watch this. So Oats just stood on a little crumble block, right? And that singular crumble block is what lets you go back up. But if you come from the other side, that crumble block blocks your way, and you need power bombs to get out. So that's a small thing that you need to know as a Map Rando player, that once you get down and get that loot, you have to leave, and you can't go through the left door.
Unless you have G mode.
That is true.
We don't talk about G mode here.
There's some illegal shenanigans you can do here. All right, so Nito a little bit ahead because of that. And yeah, all this
with high jump and supers, there's a way back. Although, do they still have the non-high jump super version in very hard?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, Varia suit. That's pretty big. Have we seen any heat though? I don't think we have.
Not
really.
yet. Not quite, yeah. So, Oats
Oats.
Where is he going?
He's got the spring ball. He's tempted to go up Main Street. Oh, no. So this is a classic Nito tip. I've actually talked to Nito about this several times. And what his suggestion is that if the map is far, if it's far away, and you know that more than likely you can't get there, and then you might have to come back, especially early game, you might have to come back for progression. It's okay to blind in the area you're in, because more than likely you're going to need something nearby. And that's exactly what Nito just did, and that nets him Vari. That's crazy.
Now,
and
you know what I want to say? You know what I want to say? I would argue and say that this was a mistake from Oats. It's a subtle one. But the reason why I think this is a mistake from Oats got spring ball, right? And he's immediately he's probably gonna have to be turned around. He's gonna go in Nito's path, right? You have to think, why did I get my spring ball, right? What does it do? And so Oats immediately was thinking, wait, so no, Oats knows because this is a lock at this point, right? How do you get back? So he's gonna reset here. It's fine. That's just it, right? But what happened is Oats thought high jump, spring ball, climb Main Street. Right?
Yep.
What he should have maybe considered and what Nito immediately thought is high jump or spring ball. Yes, Main Street is an option. However, the Swiss cheese room, you have to spring ball up there. You have to use spring ball to get up here.
Was that gravity? Yes, you do. Or bombs, but we don't have either of those, so.
Yeah, so if this room requires spring ball as well, you have to remember this is the closer room. This is the one you should do before. Yeah, so I think he was just really fixated on the idea of going to Main Street. I can't fault him for that, but Nito immediately was like, spring ball, Swiss cheese room, let's go up there. So you could see that, yeah, he just went up there real quick to do that.
Yep. So Oats now gonna find his Varia suit. Nito just finds the gravity suit, also here in Kateria. So this looks like it's gonna be a pretty jet scene. Oats now seeing that Vario. Yep, shakes his head or nods his head. Yep, this is the way to go. And you can do this, Nito, but do you want to? The map is far. Maybe that's what tempted Oats to go back up Main Street. Because the bottom two right doors of Main Street did not lead to the map, and the map is to the right of Main Street, on the lower half nonetheless.
Yeah. You know, this is going to be kind of interesting because Oats was technically going, if he chooses to go back for the map at this point, right, it would be kind of a one-way situation because there are no explosives right now, right?
Yeah, no explosives. However, if he does find another location, if he finds a transition over there as well, which is highly likely. If this is, okay, we got Kraid over here for 5 super Kraid, let's go. And gets the quick kill, clean. You know he's practiced that one, folks.
Yep.
Absolutely. Remember, Kraid is not an objective, though. This is random objectives. Finds the bomb. There's the explosives. Okay. Nito on a clear-cut path on logic.
Yeah. Nito is, like, crushing the seed. You really can't do it any better than he's doing it right now. Right, so Oats, down to his last super, which he's going to use on this door, is heading over to the left. And his ammo count is looking a little rough, but should be making his way over to where Nito is as well. Is gonna also get this, so basically just trailing a little bit far behind. Now this is where things get a little bit interesting, right? Because the last thing that Nito got was bombs, right? And bombs gives you access to two things. Here's the tricky part, right? Oh, where is Oats going? He's going back? He's going back. Okay.
We got this other door here though.
Yeah, because Oats didn't check the singular item there, right? I hope Oats goes through here. If he doesn't go through here, it's going to be a problem. Okay, so Oats doesn't go through. He should be okay. And
Nito with the gravity suit, yeah.
Yeah, so Nito, this is interesting. He doesn't want to leave behind this criteria map. I thought he would just go and commit to the Brinstar situation, because at that point, you're close to the map. But it looks like he doesn't want to leave this behind.
For sure. And it's not going to be too bad because he got that pivot save at the ship now. He just wanted to confirm that there's nothing he's leaving behind here. On random objectives, it's not just the bosses. It's not the G4 bosses. So any tiny room, Metroid 4, Spospo, those are just 2-tile rooms. And so it's very easy to overlook and very easy to miss. He just wants to double check and make sure he's not leaving anything.
So this will be interesting. I wonder how Oats is going to play this the moment he finds his bombs. Does he continue through to Brinstar? Does he double back immediately for the map because he knows the bombs is enough? With the double suit, he could technically get through that previous room that Nito's currently in. He couldn't do it earlier, but he can do it now. So how is Oats going to do it? Oats is not the kind of person that really likes leaving stuff behind, but I feel like if I was in Nito's position, I would have just went for the Brin map instead of the criteria map, knowing that it's fully possible that I could be abandoning something. But Nito reset the gravity and everything for this map.
He's not going to keep this save. He knows he's not going to keep this save because Fantu's not an objective, Bowling's not an objective. So he's just going to get this map and go straight back to ship. Yeah, most definitely.
I feel like this is really, I don't know if I'd do this myself.
A Norfer entrance and 3 Brin connectors.
Okay, so he's resetting back. Now he's got the Norfair information. So this is kind of a big deal. Now let's see how Oats ends up playing this, right? Because Oats doesn't get these bombs. Well, I feel like Oats probably guns it back for the map. But Oats also likes to be thorough on this side, so he may just continue on Bryn. Let's see. I feel like this was extremely thorough by Nito, but it could pay off.
Thorough, very thorough. Absolutely. Yeah. I think Oats is going to be just as thorough, though. Remember, he is facing a 1v1 versus Nito, but he is also 1 game ahead. So that really kind of incentivizes him to play clean, play it safe, and just kind of hope Nito messes up at this point.
Yeah, the value of that map felt kind of low, right? And the Green Bryn map was kind of close. So if Oats finds Green Bryn here, I think if I were Oats, I would want to just go for the map.
I think he's going to. We'll kind of find that Fantoon map. He's not going to leave that behind this early in the game, especially with the second largest area of Brinstar. But it really depends if Brinstar does connect into Norfair or not, if getting the criteria map is going to be worth it. So if Oats stays here in Bryn, which it looks like he is, and it does not connect to Norfair, then it's a highly likely that Oats might just like go down a one-way if Brinstar connects to like Torian or Red Chip on the bottom left-hand side. So yeah, it really remains to be seen whether or not getting that criteria map is going to be worth it quite yet.
You know, the other thing to say, right, is like basically, I mean, as you were alluding to, like if this Bryn dead ends, then that's definitely advantage for Oats here. Ooh, Nito missing that Fantoon swinging back and hitting him again. Oats is gonna have 10 missiles for this fight. Super should do it here for Nito.
It absolutely will.
He didn't shoot the supers though.
Yep. This is the lack of any lack of speedrunning that is kind of showing on Nito's side here. He's a god at logic and at map rando, but at the same time, just some of the other not basic, I don't want to say basic, that's the wrong word for it. The other aspects of SM, like speedrunning, it does elude him on how much he needs to kill, shoot, and stuff like. Well, he's well aware about how much ammo all these bosses have. He just might not be used to counting how much ammo has gone into Fantoon.
So here's the question. How do we get to this map? I guess we have to go up and around. It appears that's the case. Because...
It's actually windy. It's very windy. Take a look at Nito's map. It does connect to
Nito
North
jump down a pit? Nito jumped down a pit for this.
He went down the pit for it. Yeah, absolutely.
Is he locked? I think he might be locked. I think Nito he's gonna reset the Phantoon kill because he doesn't have power bombs, correct? There is a path. There is a path. The lava dive.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, lava dive.
I don't think he knew that at the time.
He didn't, but he had to save at ship, and he knew Phantoon. Even if Phantoon was here, still not an objective.
That is spooky though, right? Because you don't want to be killing Phantoon and then for no reason. There were no bombs, but Oats, from his perspective, Oats tried to get to the map from the right? And Oats can't get to the map without a power bomb. So
but it actually is a bait.
Yeah. So this is where it's tricky, right? Because we know that Nito didn't get punished here, but like Oats isn't willing to do this without a power bomb because he could jump down the sand pit, but he might get locked, right? Nito was feeling confident that like, you know what, I'm gonna play for the map right away. I'm not gonna mess around. I'm gonna dive the pit because I just saved.
And Oats finally gets hit by the revelation. He found that power down save station, knows it's Phantoon, and his worst fear, and probably why he didn't go down the pit, is because if it is Phantoon, he doesn't want to waste time on a boss fight that isn't an objective. However,
this is getting
now he's just spending
dicey.
all of his time running around Brinstar. Ice for Nito could be really, really big here, but he already has double suit. No X-ray though, so ice clips can still be useful in what a room we already saw though, like the Etiquette E-Tank room. That room's already been accounted for.
Oh, this is like that blind was really strong by Nito, and it's gonna help a lot because Nito can basically barely get out of here, right? He has to go through the lava dive, but they do have double suit, right? And these are just missiles, so Oats is gonna have to basically blind a power bomb, and based on the map, there might not be a power bomb here. If he goes back to the shaft,
I really didn't see one.
Yeah, if he goes back to the shaft, there might be an X, but this is gonna be the Norfair. Oh my gosh! Wait a second. Wait a second.
That's a troll.
Okay, so there is another Norfair entrance, but I don't know if Oats is aware of it. If you go to the top right of here, to the top right of Everest, you know what? I think Oats can work this out. Oats can work this out. So the bottom right of Red Tower, which he may have seen earlier, right, has another Norfair entrance. So he's probably gonna try to work his way over there and grab the power bomb. We can see it from Nito's side, but Oats. But it's the Red Tower door that has a power bomb, so he can't go there and get the power bomb that he wants.
Can't get it. Jeez.
Okay. So
do you think Oats just goes for it now?
I think he's gonna go for it. No, he's gonna go up.
Or blinding.
He's hoping. So he's hoping that it goes up and around, but it's not going to, unfortunately. Oh,
yeah, gamer lean activated. So there is an X on the right-hand side of the Batoon E-Tank Hall that has an X there, but that would be a one-way obtainable, and more than likely going to be super missiles because it is one-way obtainable. Oats now just going down the left-hand pit.
I think he should have grabbed the missile pack instead of diving. He should have grabbed that missile pack, then dove.
The no missiles. He knows Phantoon's here at the map.
That's a mistake. He needed to. He needed to grab the missile pack, then dive. I think he might actually just reset once he does. Because that would just straight up be faster.
Absolutely. 100% faster.
He needs to reset, grab the missiles, then kill Phantoon.
Oh, maybe that first win just let him relax a little too much. There he goes.
Yeah.
Now he realizes. Ooh. So Nito, just clean early game. Very, very fast, very clean. Making the right decisions.
Yep.
Well on his way to clearing out the rest of Brinstar. Still no power bombs though, so that's a tragedy. But it looks like he might get his first pack here.
Right here? Yeah, it's possible.
And it's
Nope.
All right, so the search for power bomb continues. We thought it was going to be a jet ski with a double suit, high jump, spring ball, all the ice and wave, but yeah, no power bombs.
Yeah, so there are two X's down here. I don't remember if Oats did any of these. He probably checked the spooky missiles, and I'm sure he checked that for power bombs, and it was probably a super pack. But the bottom left door, I don't know if Oats checked that one. That one also has an X. Oats probably didn't want to blind at that point, and probably skipped that one. But yeah, like it's a dicey situation, right? Because basically Oats was trying to... Nito basically saved and said, you know what, I'm gonna just gun it for this map right away. And then Oats kind of decided to be a little bit more conservative about it and then just continued right to see if he can get and loop around to the map. And at that point, he was heavily incentivized to... Wow, and Nito just gets another power bomb. It's not a super. No power bombs here.
And we're off to Norfair. We're off to Norfair. There's nothing else that he can get here.
Yeah,
he's got Waterway X. Yeah, it's got to be in Norfair.
This is funny though, right? Because Nito's gonna go to the aqueduct Norfair entrance, and then he's gonna get locked out and see the powerbomb laughing at his face, right? And then we'll see if he makes the same mistake Oats did and tries to go through Red Tower and be like, wait a second, this is the powerbomb entrance, right? Easy mistake to make. It's gonna be funny, at the very least. So we'll see what happens.
All right, but Nito does have that criteria map info with the other Norfair entrance, so it looks like it's gonna be advantage Nito in this early game for sure. And look at Nito's face. Here we go.
So will he make the mistake and try to take the top route and then get there and realize, wait, this requires a power bomb to get through? Because that's an easy mistake to make. Even I didn't realize that. He's doing it.
He absolutely is.
He's gonna shake
not even
his
thinking about it.
I mean, both these players, you know, I didn't even notice that as a commentator, and I saw the map, so yeah, he's gonna go in here and shake his head, maybe laugh a little bit.
Watch his face.
Yep.
And there it is.
That's actually funny.
The other Norfair entrance, well, now he can just go straight back to Criteria and then take the other entrance right by spawn and then go to Norfair that way. More than likely going to lead into the jail where the first power bombs are. However, he doesn't really need to because there's nothing left for him in Brinstar, so he might just opt to get that stay in Norfair after getting that power bomb.
So there is one more X that's probably worth it. And that X is the one that's in the right sandpit. It is a one-way accessible PB, but because it is power bombs, it absolutely could be. It absolutely could be a cheese power bomb, essentially.
Yeah, we don't know it's a power bomb though, right?
No, we don't. But it's because the save is by the ship. I would say it's worth it. You just save and then you dive the right sandpit, and if it doesn't let you, if it's not a power bomb, then you reset it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I see that. I see that as probably the next play that you go about here. Meanwhile, Oats is following in Nito's footsteps.
And because we're on tricky logic specifically, that is a possibility, right? If we were on challenge or technical, then that would guarantee not be power bomb.
Yes, barring some sort of
a lot of people don't know
difficulty.
that.
Yeah, barring some sort of difficulty in generating the seed. This right sandpit is absolutely could be power bombs. It's not logical power bombs, but it is power bombs you could essentially quote unquote cheat. And that is something that you absolutely should go for in this situation. So let's see if Nito saves and runs back to the left, because I suspect he will.
He might. I still don't think there's any power bomb because he already has a pack of power bombs on his mind, which is in Norfair where he wants to go anyway. So
okay,
Nito's not going to go back.
He's
for
leaving.
It. Yeah.
I find this a little interesting, right? Because the way that I see this is that if those are power bombs, then you go back through the red tower entrance and and shortcut through Norfair, right? So like if it's just to get power bombs and then you have to take this exact same route, then that's whatever. But if those are power bombs, you can get into Norfair much quicker, right? So I personally would have liked to see him go down to the left, the right sandpit.
It's hard to say much quicker though, because you'd have to go to the ship just to get the safety save and then wrap back around. Well, he's basically going on a direct route right now back to where he spawned, which is right by the red tower top right entrance. So I think it's kind of a wash. And he probably doesn't want to risk getting another super pack.
A super, yeah, and having to load.
Yeah. Maybe not quite a straight shot, but it is a shot to the right nonetheless, closer to where he wants to be. Which, although there's no guarantee that there is a powerbomb pack in the right-hand side of the bottom tank sand fall-through area, there's no guarantee that this powerbomb is actually obtainable either, because if this is also locked by a powerbomb pack, then the power bombs were just not meant to be over here.
Yep. Now this is pretty cool. Oats is immediately going back to the ship, and I think he's going to do what I was saying. He's going to dive that right sand pit and see what's up, and that could catch him right back up, which is pretty cool. So we'll see. We're likely going to see Oats collect all the supers in the process, but let's see. He's going to dive this right pit. Now, if this is a power bomb, I think Oats is going to have caught up a decent amount. If it's not, then Nito is going to have a further advantage here.
Yeah, absolutely. A bit of a gamble by Oats, I think. But at this point, kind of blinding Brinstar just to go back to take out Valtoon and forgetting the missile on his first trip down to Vantoon. And there it is, super missiles.
Yep.
So Nito clearly in the lead here. And there's the jail. Right now, Nito has basically nothing stopping him except for speed locks and Pants Room. Those are the only two that are really stopping right now. Pants Room and speed locks. But moving along, cruising along very speedily. Oats now going to go ahead and take the wraparound to Norfair as well, it looks like, but he still doesn't have the Criterion map, so he doesn't know.
He does not have the Criterion map, nope.
He does realize that Brinstar connector to the top of Red Tower is there because he peeked it in the very early game.
Yep. And he is very aware that there is like a very, very high chance you get power bombs by going into that Brinstar connector. So the question is, does he get the map, or does he go for the power bombs that he's 90% sure he can access?
I think he's just going to go for the power bombs and bail on Kateria. He's already bailed on Kateria map once. I don't think he's going to stick around this time.
It is a little bit hard to say. I kind of feel like he's probably just going to get the Criterion map in the process. But yeah, we'll
You're saying the process. You're saying the process, but the path that leads to the map is actually very far and very windy. However, Oats, not knowing how the Criterion map laid out, might be wondering if there's another connector to another zone up top. So this could be very well what's on his mind, because if you take a look at the layout of the Brinstar map, we have 3 Brinstar connectors to Criteria from the top, and then 2 Norfair connectors on the right-hand side. That's it. So he's probably thinking that, Brinstar is going to be the bottom left part of the world. The world can open up very much to the top and right.
All right. So Oats taking a pivot save, just in case that, the power bombs don't end up being what he wants, and is going to make his way over down the red tower to get that power bomb. Meanwhile, Nito is browsing around, takes a pivot save, is going to grab this X, and is going to make his way exploring the rest of Norfair.
Yeah, just had a little revert, actually. Back to Bubble Mountain, re-grab that pack of supers. Not sure what he found where he wanted to reset, but he didn't like it.
What I will say is kind of just how this seed is playing out. Oats, it would be beneficial if Oats were to find charge, right? Because Nito has like all this ammo, and Oats probably isn't going back here to collect all of these X's, right?
Yes.
So that's 4 super packs that Oats is not finding, meaning the rest of the X's have a higher chance of being power bombs themselves. So
not season 4, baby. Not season 4. That's not even half the super packs accounted for, man.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, in this case, finding like plasma and charge just randomly would be more beneficial to Oats than it would be for Nito. That would dilute Nito's super advantage. Now that being said, it doesn't matter as much because they don't have to kill the Ridley, right? But you still do have to kill Mother Brain, so that requires a lot of ammo.
And Mother Brain 2. Yep. For those who forget, the random objective does include Mother Brain 2. Some people attest, I know I did for the beginning of this tournament. I was like, okay, random objective, there's probably no Mother Brain 2 for some reason, because I was thinking from last year's tournament, the Metroid no Mother Brain 2, and that just stuck with me.
Yep.
So there is still Mother Brain 2. For those who think otherwise, that is not true. Mother Brain 2, still very much on the table. Gonna need all the firepower to take that down and survive the Rainbow Beam. And there's Mother Brain. Speaking of, not to mention the Metroid Room 2, and another major to the bottom, and another major to the top. That Torian connector, though. What is its map?
We have 1 objective and Mother Brain. That's it. 1 objective and Mother Brain. Interesting.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to go back to Turian.
We haven't been to Turian.
Yes. Sorry, we're gonna have to go to Turian. Did I say go back?
You might have.
Yeah. We're gonna have to go into Turian here. Nito going ahead and taking care of this.
The other Kateria to Norfair connector is actually really close to that Torian connector. And that was the one advantage that Nito got with the Norfair map. So that advantage of getting the Kateria map is now pretty much null and void, especially that now that Oats is already deep in the Norfair.
Yeah. This will be interesting. I would say even if all things were being equal between both of them, Oats is not too Oats is not happy about this. If I were him, I'd definitely just grab that. You have to reset here. Yeah, you have to reset.
And that's where Nito reset as well.
Yes.
High five.
Where is Oats going right now? Is this the dead end?
Looking for a dead end.
He's checking the dead end. I see. Okay.
He's kind of blinding a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense. If there's a dead end right there, you don't have a super clear direction on what's going on, then it makes sense to maybe check that. But Nito positionally very far ahead. Basically, Nito's early game and like how he played all of this was pretty much flawless. Yeah, it doesn't really get much better than this, right? Whereas Oats' choices kind of just didn't really work out for him. Yeah, so this is like Nito not only is positionally ahead, but also was that the charge beam? Because that's
sounded like
Oats. That's actually very, very big for Oats.
But with this weak beam power, it's not necessarily the best. Wave is really good power for sure.
Yeah.
But just wave and ice itself is not the greatest.
The big
He's hoping to find
reason why
plasma on the way.
Yeah. The big reason though is that like Oats literally, if they finish everything like right now, Oats just cannot finish the game right now. But at the very least, Oats can finish the game now. So that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay. Nito and Saturnian.
Okay, Oats now gonna spy this map. Finds the Metroid. Finds Spospo. Blind Spospo. So a salad for the people.
Is an objective. So that is 2 objectives down.
Looks like Nito just went ahead and skipped. No, he did Metroid 2. Never mind.
Yeah, he did Metroid 2. Yeah.
So fast, I blinked and I missed it. Clean nice, 2 missiles, 2 supers.
Yep. 1 missile, 1 super will seal the deal here.
Oh,
yeah, missed it. It's okay. One
just
more super
barely.
At this point. 1 charge shot will also take care of it as well. And Oats running into Turian.
Yeah, probably not going to worry about Metroid 2 until he needs to go back to Mother Brain.
The one thing that makes me nervous about this, Spiffy, is now I see why Oats didn't do this, right? Because he doesn't need the only major that really helps him, aside from Speed Booster, right, is going to be Charge. And Charge was actually in the elevator above him right before the Turian entrance, which is what Nito got. So I was kind of hoping he'd get that, because then he's not going to have to think too hard about getting other X's and stuff like that, but he did not. So
yeah, this is going to slow him down.
Yeah, if he finds a bunch of other majors here, he's going to try picking them all up potentially so that he can spike Charge, but that might slow him down. If you were to find the Charge, then he doesn't have to get like anything at this point. But
yep. Clean 2 rounds Spospo.
Yeah, so Oats getting that value out of that Sports Spawn pick, right? Because save the round on Nito. Small thing, but advantage Oats on the Sports Spawn kill.
Absolutely.
Right at the Shack Tool. Both of them in the same room for a second.
What's up, Big Diesel? Everybody say hi to Big Diesel in the chat. Ultimately, Oats is not that far behind, missing that charge, and also missing the Metroid 2 objective, but as Eddie just said, it's being tempted by the exits along the way. It's definitely going to tempt him. Hopefully... Oh. And he has to know that there were a lot of super packs in Brinstar because, well, none of them were power bombs, right?
Yeah, this is spicy. It's the frame perfect freeze. Oats knows how to do this with a specific setup in Hundo. It's something he practices, but with this weird loadout, Nito is going to first try and nail this.
Boom.
Will Oats nail it first try when he gets here? That's a big deal.
That is a big deal. That's why
Nito picks ice. Nito picks ice because he knows he can do stuff like that. He's very confident, right? These freezes, these frame perfect freezes, he does them all the time. It's just another day for him. And it's a speed lock.
Speed lock.
And it's a speed lock. Oh my goodness.
Is it time to leave Torian? We got to go back to Fish Tank and blind around, it looks like. Okay, here goes Oats. Oats' turn.
Perfect.
I think he got it.
Perfect. Yeah, he got it. That's why.
got gamers, boys.
That's why he's the goatster. And then watch him freak out because he's gonna crash out right here once he sees the speed lock. So
That's
just
true.
You know, keep an eye out if you want to see a good crash out. You're gonna see him probably shake his controller a little bit, calling it right now.
We got the elevator though, so
eyes peeled. All right.
Glorious. The lean, mean, crash out machine Oats and Goats, baby.
You know what's funny? They're both like desperation blinding this right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're both basically kind of playing on life support. Nito basically just did that. Decided to load. I think Oats might end up doing the exact same thing right now. But effectively, they're just trying to blind some of this stuff here.
Hello, Ridley. We don't need you.
You don't really want to be doing Ridley.
Absolutely not.
That's kind of funny. So does Oats reset here as well?
Nope. He got the double
he's
reserve.
Throwing his head back. So what it appears we have to do is probably reset back, and at the bottom right of Norfair, there were several majors. There is a good chance that the bottom right of of Norfair has like speed booster somewhere to continue progressing with the game. But right now, because that option is so bad, they're just trying to blind. Ooh, blinding wreck ship.
Top left, the fish tank.
Free map too.
And two items here already. Freest map. And another objective.
That's one objective. Just one though. Okay.
He's got screw attack, so he can do it. It's speed locked.
It is
all right.
Speed locked. Okay.
back to Torian. We go.
All right.
We gotta check the bottom right of fish tank now.
Oats taking the save. He made no progress, and then took the same save that he found a second ago. All right. Well, let's see if he blinds the wreck ship door. He might. But otherwise, you're gonna have to basically go for majors.
I'm gonna need you to stop whispering into Nito's ears here, because he took your advice to heart, and he's gonna go back to Norfair, probably looking for these majors.
Yep. Oats is gonna be thorough, blind this door, and Oats is also gonna probably blind the top left door.
Yep.
It would be beneficial for him too, and he is going to. Nice. And he's gonna get the same information. Now here's the thing. If Oats at any point decides, I gotta go back and get the criteria map, it's lights out for him.
Absolutely.
Now, there might be a situation where it is logically the best play to just, go for the criteria map. However, if you want Oats to have a chance at winning this, you need to pray that he just abandons it entirely, because there's nothing left for him in criteria. Nice
he's looking to
for Nito.
He's spying that criteria as well. Yo, Spazer, you have to get it for the people, Nito. Even if you shake your head.
So I think Oats needs to, if I'm
that
Oats,
is far.
If I'm Oats, I think I just do Norfair cleanup here, right? Because you know that everything's speed locked.
Mm-hmm.
So you could go into criteria because maybe you find speed along the way with the map, right? And maybe both object. Oh, actually, no. At this point, no.
He's gonna find charge though.
They have all.
He's gonna find charge. So that's gonna go ahead and alleviate any ammo issues he's got.
It will,
because he's on the hunt for supers or for majors. He's gonna spy this one first, get the charge, get the other two probably.
So what major was this?
Spader beam.
This was Spazer. Okay, so Oats needs to scroll right. I hope he scrolls right a little bit. Did he scroll right at all? He's really.
I'm sure he did.
This criteria map.
I'm sure he did.
But he needs to play for these majors on the right.
He just hates it. As does everybody else who regularly play these. They're so far.
But I just don't see what else you do here, right? Like, you kind of have to just play. You need speed, right? So majors are just what you have to get.
And that's why he was cringing. That's why he was cringing getting that charge. He's like, oh my god, this is probably speed. And now Nito's just miles ahead, but he found the charge instead. He's like, yeah, baby. We're okay.
Like, where this would be really, really good. So Oats doesn't need to do criteria anymore. He doesn't need to do criteria.
He doesn't know that. But he does.
No, he does know. He does know, I believe.
Unless there's a random objective there. We still haven't seen Metroid 4.
Did we not see Metroid 4?
We saw Metroid 2.
Okay, and then we saw the
I don't
pirates.
think we've seen 4. And we saw the pirates.
So then where is the last objective? If that's the case. Is there a connector in Turian? Or it should just be in Turian, I guess? Yeah, I guess...
We haven't seen Meridia yet.
Okay, well, it's probably behind the Turian speed lock.
More than likely.
Right?
I think you're right.
Yeah. Okay.
Oats going back to Criteria to blind to try to get the map. Finds a missile pack. I think he's leaving it. There ain't no way he's going for that map now.
He's going for the map. I don't think he's gonna keep going for it. He's smiling though. He had a pivot save though, and he's not taking it, so he's going for the map.
Ugh. Oof.
Do
you think we're gonna get that? We're gonna get that vibe check signal from Oats here in just a second.
I'm wondering why he's getting this, right? It is not. It's not really like. It's not because like I know what's going on with Nito, right? But like, you know, there's a speed lock, right? The ideal situation is that you go this way, and there's an objective, right? Because if there's an objective, you have to do it anyway, right?
Well, on
but
the other hand,
ideally, also there's just like speed booster along the way here too.
Yes,
right?
that exactly.
But
exactly that.
The problem is when I believe there's 2 majors in this way. When you know there's 2 majors this way, I feel like you go for the 2 majors. That's kind of how I feel
think so
personally.
But I think he's just like the old-fashioned hope and cope that his speed's just close. But
there's a Meridia entrance at the top of Criteria. I did not see that.
Is there? I didn't see that.
I didn't see that.
Absolutely not.
I did not see that. Well,
okay, so now Oats has a real strong chance.
Wait a second.
Hold up. Hold the phone.
Anyone else see? I did not see that Meridia entrance.
I didn't see it.
That is a big deal if that's the case.
You get people. Oats failing upwards, says chat.
This is a reason why you would also get the map, right? Because if you see another zone, then you have something else to do, right? It's just when you know your speed lock, it feels hard to not go in to the majors specifically.
But then did Nito miss that map connection? Was he too focused on the 3 Brinstar and Norfair map to see that there was a Meridia up top?
Well, when Nito got that map, remember, he had to do that hard. He reset like grav and everything so he could peek the map. He couldn't really go to Meridia there, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But Oats is going there now, and it looks. Wait, also, hold on. Did Nito just get screw attack? So those 2 majors blanked out.
Well, Oats also has screw attack. They had screw attack.
Okay, but Nito got grapple, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Nito has Spazer.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Is there one more unaccounted for? No.
Did he reset it? There was a major to the right? He must have reset it or something. Yeah.
So what was the Space X-ray plasma? We're getting Space X-ray plasma from the chat.
If Nito
that major was grapple,
then Oats is ahead. If Nito checked that, Oats is ahead.
Oats is
and he's about to get this map. He's about to find
speed.
The last objective here.
God.
There will be a major here, and it's going to be speed.
And is the map literally just going? There it is. There's that. There's one major top left.
Where's the other objective? Is it hiding in Turian?
It is. Nope, it's right there in Meridia.
It's right there.
Number 4, top right, next to a major.
First.
Absolutely, in case that's speed. Oh my God, this is the map is just against Nito. Oats is in a significant lead.
Wow.
What a crazy map.
Okay, so Oats skipping those 2 majors there, right, is a huge time save because Nito spent a lot of time getting those. And Oats still has to do Metroid Room 2, right? It is close to Mother Brain, but that is not an insignificant amount of time. Nito's Mother Brain 2 is also going to be 1,000,000 times faster, given that Oats has, Nito has 25 supers on him, right? So, but Nito is trailing behind right here. So this is interesting. I still think this is really close, right?
This is close for sure. It's close for sure. Nito's going to be moving with the purpose now. He knows he needs to go to Meridia. No more blinding around Criteria that Oats had to do, so he's going to make up some time right here.
What I will say, this might sound weird, but it is in Nito's best interest if this major right next to M2 is speed. It is in Nito's best interest. And the reason
Absolutely.
why is because if it's not speed, it might be plasma, right? And Oats, after getting speed, just doesn't need to get anything else, right? So like if this is like plasma and they both have to do everything, every beam is just worse for Nito, right?
Absolutely.
So
Yep.
Nito wants this to be speed. I know it sounds weird, but this needs to be speed. It's not.
Space jump. That's okay too.
Nito will be getting
Yeah,
the
that's
space
also
jump.
okay.
Yeah. And there is no way Oats from this position would go back for the Norfair majors, right? So he's going to get the majors here to the left of Meridia, because there's nothing left for him to do other than find Speed Booster at this point.
So it looks like Nito's trailing behind. Keep in mind, Metroid 2 already done for him. Got a more powerful beam and also a lot more supers. So this is fairly close, just like Eddie said. This is crazy, man. What a good race.
Crazy. Yeah. I gotta give it to. I feel like
my chair right now.
Yeah, the edge is definitely right now for Oats, right? Because positionally, they just high-fived each other, right? But like, don't underestimate the amount of time it takes to go and do another random Metroid room, and then don't underestimate the power of 25 super missiles with this current beam. Now, worst case scenario, once again, right? Oats finds plasma, and then he gets speed, right? You want the first
speed
item
first.
Yeah, you want
speed first. Advantage.
Nito fans need Oats to find speed as fast as possible, because if Oats gets
you don't
plasma,
have to be Nito
that
fans.
mitigates.
Game 3 fans.
Game
speed
3
next.
fans, yeah.
Game 3 fans. Speed next.
All right, so this looks awkward, but you can go back by coming the way you came from, up here. Oats is not going to pick up any additional E-tanks here. The quickest way back is locked by speed, which they should find at this point, unless there was something in Turing you could have blinded that we never saw. That would be the only other way that speed would not be here.
Well, I don't think there was. I'm pretty sure Nito. Well, Oats exhausted every option in Torian because the bottom right of fish tank was it was Mickey Mouse. However, the other side was being blocked by Ridley.
Okay, yeah. Which could be possible.
I don't know, man.
That's possible.
With so many supers in charge, and double suit.
They have double suit in charge, yeah. So it's like, it is possible. That would be
tragic,
the craziest
but hilarious
thing I've ever heard of in my life, because that would force Oats to get the majors on the right?
Oh yeah, and then all that time that Nito spent is now.
Then Nito skyrockets ahead. But here we go. First item up.
There it is.
It's Speed Booster. Okay, so there is a decent chance.
Really close.
I think what the final major up there that Oats is abandoning, I believe, is Plasma, right? Or it could be X-Ray, right? But basically, like that.
I think we saw
really
X-Ray.
We did.
I think Nito saw the X-Ray and reset it.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, they're gonna head up, and Oats is going to go to the right of this room. And is this the quick way back?
I think so. The amphitheater.
Okay. All right. Wow, this is crazy. Because
it's so close.
Oats looks so far behind, right? But positionally, where you had to go, and what Oats chose to skip, right, ended up being like extremely strong, enough to basically like catapult Oats back positionally into the lead. But
I don't know. It's really tough because like now Oats is in Meridia already. Nito still has to find the speed, but as people said, the Metroid Room 2 is only 2 rooms away from Mother Brain. Well, the back inside of Mother Brain, but from the front end side, it's like 5 rooms away. So it's not out of the way too much, but it is slightly out of the way.
It is a little out of the way, right? So
but with full movement, I think Oats is he's flying through this. He's got speed, space, screw, high jump. Everything Oats needs to really shine at this kind of seed. So I still think advantage Oats. It's going to be close.
Like pause menu also matters at this point. Like everything will make a difference. It looks like Oats is really far ahead, but there are reasons why Nito's going to save time, the ammo and the other stuff. Now, obviously, every additional super pack that Oats comes across, right, is going to mitigate the advantage that Nito has. But yeah, this is like Nito is going to fry Mother Brain 2 as of right now.
And there we go. Oats took a little bit of a wrong turn. He took a little bit of a wrong turn, not going straight to Norfair on the right-hand side. He's gonna have to go back up. Just a small little thing, but every bit matters.
That is a big deal. That's a huge deal, right?
Yes.
Because he's behind on ammo and stuff like that. That's a huge deal.
Every wrong turn, Nito's creeping it up on you.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Okay.
Now they're honestly just what, like 4 rooms apart.
If
25
like
supers versus a
turn,
15.
It's definitely advantage Nito, right? Like
yeah.
Oh man, this is close. This is really close.
These are what we live for. So Oats now gonna make his way back up through Norfair. I think he just decided to go through. Oh, was there no quick way through it? He's got to go through pre-high jump E-tank. And then down the elevator, down the right-hand side.
You go back down, and that's the turret entrance, I believe.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, so Nito's taking the same path right here. Skipping that missiles. We don't need missiles anymore. Yeah, Nito's taking the exact same path. So they... Oh, because the other way looked like it might have been blocked by Botch Wound, and ain't nobody got time for that. You don't need it, bro. I was looking at that map for maybe a little too long.
Okay, so he's gonna go ahead and take care of this objective, right? He's leaving the M2 objective for the end.
Yeah.
And Nito with I think less pauses and is just flying through, right? So yeah. you cannot let, if Nito catches up to Oats positionally here, Nito's going to win. Because
if they hit same screen, it's Nito's game.
It's Nito's game because Oats still has to
especially since that's power bombs. Oh man.
Yes. This is very, very close. Nito's already in wreck ship.
Another X. It's supers.
Yeah. But see,
every super pack along the way. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's gonna slow him down.
This right now, it feels like, oh my god, is the universe on Oats' side? Is he just gonna throw all these super packs in the way? Because he's gonna go down. There's an X inside Plasma Pirates. There's one, maybe even 2 more X's inside the Quateria Pirate Shaft. And if those are both supers, he's got 30.
He's making wrong turns.
Then it's completely Oats' advantage. No, not a wrong turn. He has to wrap around.
Yeah, no, but he was going up and then he paused, right? And then he actually spent a long time looking at it. Nito's doing it as well, but Nito's much faster right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So...
Is it? Okay, more power bombs. That's look.
Yep, he's not gonna
Game 3. Game 3. Game 3. Come on, baby.
Oh, man. High five between the two of them, right? All right, what's over here?
I think this is going to make it break it. If this is supers, even 1 pack, I think. Oh, no.
Okay, he's going to get it. All right, 25.
Okay, he's got it.
Okay, so this is equalizing a lot of stuff because every additional super that Oats doesn't have is going to end up being a longer mother brain too. But Nito is right behind Oats at this point, and Oats still has M2 to do. He made up a lot of time here.
Yes.
Right? So how is the hunt for the final objective going to look? Like, how fast is this going to be?
It's not that fast. He's got to go through like 5 different rooms.
And he's going to be on the left side of Mother Brain. He's going to be on the left side of Mother Brain.
Yeah. Nito's got it. I think he if he plays clean, and even in both of them playing at the top of their game right now, Nito's going to be at a clear advantage. Just like 30, maybe 30 seconds. Not long at all, but...
Nito head. This is it. No, Nito's going straight to it.
Yeah. Game 3. Game 3.
Wow.
Game 3. I can't stick around for game 3, but I still want it. Should have called off work today. So yeah, there you go. Nito's already in Mother Brain room at the 51-41 mark.
You know, I gotta say, Spiffy, this is where it gets pretty cool, right? Like, Nito was very, very far ahead of Oats, right?
Very.
But because Oats chose to, instead of knowing that he was speed locked, instead of getting the majors in Norfair, because he chose to do the criteria map into Meridia, right? that put him back into contention.
Brought him right back in the game.
If he went for the Norfair majors, it would have been lights out. Like, it wouldn't have even been close, right? And then that decision to not get the 2 majors over there ended up being huge. I would have gone for them personally, right? But that put him back in this game. It was so over right up until that point. It wasn't enough, it looks like, right? But it was close.
Yep, for sure. And then Oats right here getting that speed booster, almost exactly a minute behind, but it's not going to be enough. Nito with the 30 supers, Oats with 21.
Yep. Ultimately is going to have the slower fight overall, so Nito with a pretty decisive advantage at this point.
But even one wrong turn from Nito, if he somehow fails the escape, which I highly doubt he doesn't, I highly doubt he does.
You don't want the escape. You don't want to fail the escape at this point. Definitely not.
Yeah.
So for Oats, this is going to be, I think, in the realm of 33 shots. It's not quick.
Yeah, it's not fast at all.
Yep. Along with all the supers.
Yeah, do you think it'd ever be actually just viable? Because you got a few extra tanks to just turn off ice and do some X factors.
Probably not.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not unless like you're guaranteed to land at least 3. But even then, I don't really think so. Yeah. It's also a little risky. Maybe if they had like 13 E-tanks or something like that, but that's not the case here.
Yeah. All right, so now Nito's just gonna make his way straight back to ship. It's just a straight left shot. Now clearing his way through all these power bomb doors that so desperately blocked him before. Gonna take the top left-hand side of Big Pink into a bottom E-tank, and then to, I think, Purple Shaft, and then the ship after that.
Yeah. Like if I'm Oats, I low-key think I have a good chance of winning, right? Because the major skip was a big decision, and it paid off, right? But I don't think he realized like how far Nito got ahead with his choices, because Nito made every right
early
choice,
game.
right? Yeah, made every right choice, to the point where it's like, nobody beats him in that early game, right? Like, he made every right choice. Yeah.
Every single choice was correct. So GG's to Nito. And Oats, watch Oats' face. He's going to see that dot done in just a second when he hits this door. And he's going to give him the nod. Oh, he didn't even look. He's going to give that stoic head nod. He's like, yep, this checks out.
He might not be looking right now.
He's focused, baby. He wants the win. You can tell.
Yep.
Yeah, even this map right here, Oats is just showing that he didn't quite remember the map very well. Nito paused for like 5 seconds, and that's all he needed.
Yep.
There it is.
Okay, there it is. He nodded. Yep. Now he sees it.
What a great game, too.
Yeah,
I can't believe I have to leave for game 3. This sucks.
Sorry, Spiffy. All right, let's watch Oats finish this one out. Good match. Good match. Like, strong decision to make the skip. If I was Oats, I made that skip, and I got paid off for it. I kind of feel like I would have won. I would have, but Nito really did get that far ahead.
He really did. And
that early
honestly,
game was just so strong for him. And it's not really the fault of Oats either.
Yeah, it's really not his fault, except for early game. Not the very early game, but when they first got in the Brinstar, I know skipping that criteria map probably put a little inkling on his head where he's like, oh man, this has been really nagging at him. But at the same time, resetting the missiles, going back to ship, going to Fantune, realizing it was Fantune because he found that power down save, and then heading towards the map without missiles, that cost him like 15-20 seconds. Going back to Fantune, that cost him another 15-20 seconds. Checking that right-hand side of the Botwood E-Tank fall-through area, the being supers, that cost him another 25-30 seconds. You know what I mean? And the game was just that close.
Yeah. Look at that. I mean, if I'm going to be honest, I think I play pretty similar to the Oats here, right? Including struggling with the Fantune. I don't know if I would have dove immediately for it. I just like, I don't think I beat Nito here either. Like, I don't think I'd have a shot. I think he played it so cleanly. I would have also gotten the majors at the bottom right, so I don't think I even beat Oats here. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, a strong time from both, even though we saw what happened here. So
yeah, absolutely. GG's. And that's going to do it for me, folks. Eddie, thank you very much for being my co-commentator today. I have to sign off, but I will be watching from the shadows, cheering these two runners on, these two legends of Map Rando, and I will be passing my baton over to WX Fan. So get ready, RIP headphone users, get ready. Make sure you turn your volume down for WX Fan. He's coming on for Game 3. Eddie, always a pleasure to do comedy, buddy.
Thank you. You too, Spiffy.
All right, but don't go anywhere, folks. We still have Game 3. Game 3 lovers, type 1 in chat. That's me for sure. I love Game 3s. It's always a good time. So you guys have a wonderful night, and I'm signing out. Don't go anywhere. Game 3 coming up next.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, SpeedGaming fans. I'm WXFan21, tagging out my buddy Spiffy. I am tagging in for game number 3. The one, the only, Eddie is here. Eddie, we have been treated to an amazing first 2, and this last game is not to disappoint, and we've got Gravity 9+1.
Oh yeah, absolutely, WX. So Oats going ahead and taking that first game in a really close match. Nito taking game 2 in a really close match for game number 2. So Gravity 9+1, like you said, for game 3. Basically, no objectives, and Gravity 9+1 were the final choices, and Nito went ahead and picked Gravity 9+1. That means we don't have Varia suit, but we have as much health as we need to do all the things that are difficult. This is a fun mode. You get to move fast, but you have to maybe manage your health if you have a lot of hell runs. And there's a lot of things that you may have to do in Logic that require lots of hell runs. So it's going to be a fun one to see. Yeah. What a way to cap it off on this really good best of 3.
I kind of expect us to see a lot of heated runs early and often here. Oats is kissing a trophy that he just got from his desk. Oh, we're in for a spicy game number 3. Elimination game is on the line. One of these 2 racers is going to advance in the lower bracket. The other is eliminated from the tournament. There is no other brackets to go through. This is it. You are finishing inside the top 8 of the gold bracket. And what a orb and then backwards Batwoon. Okay, then.
Yep. So immediate morph, like you said. What they both have to do is a gravity jump to get up here because you can't normally reach that. And Nito goes left and Oats goes to the right. I didn't quite get to see where it was, but Nito finding the parlor entrance. It looks like this might be where you have to go, given all the doors that you can go through.
Yeah, fast pillars.
Yep.
Oh boy.
And right at the ship.
And we already found the ship.
Yep.
All right, folks. Thank you all for coming. We got the ship. We're leaving. Great info to have here early, though. We know where the ship is. We know we got to defeat the G4. But starting out with Orb and Gravity Suit, it's great movement, but I still expect to see a lot of heated runs early, and fast pillars could easily be in Logic. And oh, look, it's bowling.
Yep. Interesting. So Oats finds that side of the bowling, Nito finds that side of the bowling, and Oats clearing out this right side is going to go ahead and follow in Nito's tracks. Nice little run and jump to get into the door without having to do a gravity jump. That's actually pretty slick. But here we go. Oats is going to go in and blind. It looks like that map is inaccessible. And Nito finds his way into Norfair.
Charge! Oh my gosh. Okay, well, that's fun.
Yeah. So this is interesting, right? So right now, Nito and Oats both had to blind because the map is likely behind a set of bomb blocks for Brinstar. So Nito found his way over here and was struggling to kind of get that wall jump. The logical way to get these to get the charge is to unequip the gravity and do a jump morph, so it's a lot easier. Otherwise, doing a wall jump morph is significantly more difficult. So we're gonna see Oats go ahead and make his way over to the charge that Nito was trying to get. If he's able to get these wall jumps quickly, that's going to save him a good amount of time, because Nito struggled a little bit on that. But Nito is making his way down at the elevator to see if he can get his progress. Now, with that early charge, that could just be a filler item, right? But it does make you wonder if they have to take this down door right here to find Vanilla Croc. Not even randomized? Hold on.
Yeah, I was hoping for Croc. I was gonna say charge beam. We could see Croc. I hear
there
Croc.
It is. There
Let's
it
go,
is.
chat. Get your Croc emotes in chat. As soon as I start Charge Beam and just give him a rat, I'm like, I really wonder if Croc is in logic, just because we can get to Croc and we can easily get to the Croc item with gravity and obviously all these E-tanks. So we are easily probably going to get either Screw or some sort of explosive progression here.
Yeah, I mean, we might even just get like a missile pack, which would be hilarious, because there wasn't really much we could do at this point. I think a missile pack would be the funniest thing, personally. But it is likely something important, and it is a super pack.
It's missiles! And he wins!
It is missiles! It is missiles. Supers makes a little more sense. All right.
Oh, that's funny. That does open up the super door back in parlor.
It does. There's also a, I believe there was a red door as they were falling down here at some point. No, maybe not. Maybe it was just a regular door, but yeah. Gonna get that super. And there is the green door back in parlor, like you said, that they should be very suspicious about. However, you don't necessarily want to go back for that door right away. Supers can open up so many more things. So personally, if I'm them, I didn't actually see where the map was, but you should definitely consider just also going left here and just seeing that door too. Because who knows? It could just be a red door as well. It could also be a super door.
Got it. It is!
Yep. So that also gets opened up with supers. You don't have to be obsessed with the one super door you saw, but it's lava dive.
Oh, jeez. Fast pillars, lava dive, backwoods bots, and well, these have been some interesting connector rooms.
You know what's the kind of the crazy thing here, WX? With this much health, I'm not 100% sure, but it could be possible that the lava dives in logic. Because this is one of those weird things that when you play hard tricky, you don't usually have like 5 bajillion tanks at the start of the game, right?
No.
But like, there's a world, I could be wrong, but it might be something you have to do. Now we'll see. It's not what you would, it would be one of the last things you do, right? But it's possible that it's
we need high jump for it, but I mean, listen, it's Nito and Oats. High jump is not actually required for them to do it.
Okay.
But,
well, it is important to know that if logically it is required, that you need to have it on the back of your mind. But if it's not required, now I don't know if Oats knows that. I don't know if Nito knows that specifically because it is a hard, tricky thing. But if it's not, if it was in logic, you'd have to think about doing it. Either way, you don't have a save, so you really don't want to like do that without, getting burned by it. So this is.
Nope.
I
Oats
was
trying.
a little surprised by that, but yeah, Oats went for that. He's gonna have to farm a few more supers potentially, but we'll see.
Oh,
there
my
we go.
goodness, it's speed booster. Well, top left, the parlor is unlocked, and
Yep, it is the green door.
fast pillars.
Yep. I'm a little surprised that Oats tried to gate glitch that. That's not in logic with... Even if you had the requisite 15 supers, I'm not 100% sure if it would be in logic, because it probably would be with this amount of health, but it expects you to actually fail it like 14 times. And obviously you need the amount of health to do it in that situation, so it requires you to have a lot of health. Either way, Nito a little bit ahead, went ahead and saved, and is going to do a speed booster to break these blocks and get to the map.
Yep. This is the way to go. I was going to say we could have had the upper right-hand corner of landing site, but again, with the map being right here, it makes life a lot easier. Folks, if you're just tuning in, I'm WXFan21 along with Eddie here. And that was a power bomb door, so we go nowhere. We are going to the top right of ship for Nito. This is a lower bracket of the gold bracket elimination game. The winner advances to the lower bracket semifinal. This is a quarterfinal match. The loser is eliminated in 5th, 6th place. This is going to be a great finish here in this game. Nito taking game 2, Oats taking game 1. Chat's all sorts of excited. Follow the comms, follow the racers. Hit the buttons in chat. Let's see what's over here to the right of Leodox.
So this is really interesting. Oh, no bombs to get back. So it would have to loop if you want to get back. Nito is going to commit to this. So he's basically, you can get back. You can do this really tight mock ball to get back if there are no bombs here. There could be bombs to bail you out potentially. So Nito is gonna, looks like he scouted out and didn't see anything up there. So both players are going to have to reset basically right here. So I wonder, I don't know if Oats would keep this, but you could do a speedball back out. It looks like he doesn't. Okay.
Yeah.
And Nito is going to do a spark over here. This isn't in logic. This is not in logic. He cannot get out, but he could get bailed out with a with something.
First try, and that didn't even look like it hit.
They're still not on logic, but this does get them the map, so they're gonna continue. Well, it might get them the map, maybe not. We'll see right here. So he has to go down, but who knows if this is like an orange door? No, it's not. So okay, both players, Oats running quick, basically catching up to Nito. Amazing, amazing. Oats catching up to Nito basically. Now has the map.
Okay, Mother Brain, triple Norfair doors, and Upper Bowling is in fact a major, but we can't get it yet. So looks like it's gonna be. Yeah, it looks like that's going to be a reverse Croc Speedway, it looks like, Eddie.
If I saw this, so not Croc Speedway, I think I saw that there was a way to get into the wreck ship shaft. There should be a way to get to wreck ship shaft, and there was an X over there. It's right next to Mother Brain, but Nito is just going to leave, as well as Oats. Okay, so basically, I think they both understand that there is a chance that they're abandoning power bombs, right? Oh, yeah, no. Sorry. They have supers. They have supers, so that's fine. Wow.
Botswoon, E.
Does Oats do this?
Dragon is
not
logical, but they can do it.
He doesn't do it, though. Okay, so Oats is diving the pit instead.
Oh my gosh.
Interesting.
Wow. So Nito's gonna try getting this done early. Oats went down one of the sand pits, finds another super door. And
I think Oats' play is pretty cool here, because you do have to beat this with speed boosters, and if you make your way back up, you can kill Botswoon on the way out, and then you have a little bit of extra loot. It's a little bit of a cheeky play, but that might be good for them.
Gotta find out.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking good for Oats right now, actually. Oh, that's a little dicey, though. Ooh, you don't have bombs, Oats. You don't have bombs. Okay. So Nito's gonna do this, and he's actually gonna get nothing out of it.
Yep.
So this is actually good for Oats if that's the case. So the question is, what did the Norfair entrance look like at the bottom past Croc? Was that a powerbomb door? Nice kill for Nito. They had the red door. They had a red door into Lava Dive, if I remember correctly, right?
Correct.
So then what it looks like is you need to speed boost through Croc Speedway. Perhaps you need to store Spark in Croc and then Spark through the other entrance. Let's hope Nito doesn't do this that Oats did. No, doesn't choose to dive. Oats kind of like forgot for a second. It would have been nice if he took the missile pack and killed Dre and left. Now, he is going to be abandoning this Dre kill, right? So that's going to be advantage Nito, and this could really burn him if he's in trouble here, because it's not really that big of a deal because they know that Mother Brain is in Brinstar, but Oats is on the correct path right now. So, all things being said, Nito does have the Dre kill, right? But I think they're both going to be on the same path very soon.
I also want to point this out, Eddie. And, you're a top tier racer. I've been watching you race Oats, Nito. I'm watching everyone for a long time. If you've paid attention closely to the first 11 minutes of this game, Oats has the better and faster movement. Both have great movement. Oats is slightly faster. We've seen him already come back from that early revert, which I think was about a minute. He's come back purely on how fast he is. Is that going to be a deciding factor here in this game? We're going to find out. Oats finds the first explosives, and Big Pink, that's bombs.
Yep. It's pretty spicy that all these extra E-tanks put the reverse Croc Speedway in logic. Which is not kind of what you'd expect, but yeah, that's what Nito's gonna go ahead and do right now as well. I hope another thing is there's a world where he doesn't know if the lava dive is also in logic, but it looks like he is going to do exactly what Oats is doing. Keep in mind, Nito does have the Dre kill on Oats. It's probably gonna be he also did it really quickly. If it was really slow, that would be a problem. But Oats likely will be able to do it slightly faster when he comes back for the inevitable kill before he kills Dragon. But as of right now, Oats ahead.
Chad also made a really good point. Those bombs put the bowling major into logic.
It does. It wasn't a major, it was an X, but they don't have power bombs. So there is a world where they cannot find any power bombs. And the power bomb, by the way, that door at the bottom of Big Pink is power bomb locked. So as of right now, they cannot get that map.
Fun. Well, we talked about heat, and we do immediately have Key Hunter stairs, and Nito finding those big pink items. He will find his bombs. I would say they're still very neck and neck. Again, just based off the Dragon kill.
Yep. Okay, wow, Oats is moving real fast right now. Immediately saw a power bomb lock, hit the reset button faster than I've ever seen anyone hit a reset button in my life, and is making his way, is basically saying, okay, where do I find these power bombs? So we know there is the X that has opened up because of bombs back in Brinstar, right? But that is far away, right? So do you just go for the X, which doesn't have to be power bombs, or do you blind Norfair, right? That's kind of the question here. Nito is looking at that X. I think both decisions are valid, but because he saw that X, I have a feeling he's going to go back for it.
Yep. Imagine if that X is power bombs immediately, which then opens up the bowling major. That would be very interesting. And Oats, back into Bryn.
Yep.
Going for it.
So Oats also going back. Is this the path back to the wreck ship? I think he's not going the right way. He has to go down and to the right. Oh, he's going for the X where the pirates were. So when they originally went to the top and went to the top of the ship, that was also an X. So that one also very reasonable. I didn't even see that one, but Nito's going for the one that we all originally saw, which is right here. If this is a super pack and the one that Oats gets is a power bomb, that could be really big and change the trajectory of the lead. So what is this going to be?
Power bombs. Power bombs for Nito!
Okay. All right, so Oats is going to go over here. Now, this could also just be power bombs. None of these have to be super, so this could just be another, basically just another power bomb pack. And if it's a super pack, I mean, who knows? That could also be a big difference, right? They have charge, but you know, you're not going to kill Ridley with
two being a difference.
Yeah, you're not going to kill Ridley with just charge nothing, right? So even if this is a super, it could still be good. It is also a power bomb pack. Okay. Now, here's an interesting thing, right? Do you, as Oats, because you're near the major in bowling, do you go through pillars with your power bombs? Because you can make it forward and back now. Do you go for the major and the X, or do you go straight back to Norfair? That's the question. Nito's going straight back to Norfair.
Yep. Oats did take a save and a refill. Man, if that's a pivot save, he's doing it. Oh, he's going for the bowling major.
Yep. Now, it's interesting here, right? Because, like, when you have Grav 9+1, right? You have, like, 1,000 E-tanks, right? Like, how useful are majors really, right?
Oh,
Oats is going to try to spark across.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 majors in Norfair. All looks like they're all completely accessible because most of them are barred by missile doors.
Yep. But I would say if you're going to get a singular major, it's just going to be the one right here because those other ones are real far away. I don't think you can go for the other ones. So what is this major going to be? And what's this major going to be for Oats? Spazer. Okay.
Nito beam acquired. On brand.
And what's this going to be for Oats?
Ooh!
High jump. Ooh. That's real good. That's good for Oats.
If we didn't have the map already.
Yep, that's good for Oats. So here's the interesting thing, right? You got high jump. That's going to make you move a lot cleaner, right? Yep. However, Nito is ahead of you because he got the power bombs that were a little bit closer and he's skipping the high jump, right? So how much is high jump going to help Oats? Is it going to be enough to kind of recover the deficit? Getting it this early in the seed is useful, right?
It is.
But we'll see.
Plenty of E-tanks to get through fast pillars with no problem whatsoever. Boots needs to be a difference maker here for Oats because now, again, not only does he still have to go and kill Dragon, Nito's got the Norfair information. He knows about the 5 majors. He's got one of them. Was going back for the bowling major the right call because it's Boots? We are going to find out by the end of this seed. Nito goes up. There were 2 majors, so I like what Nito's doing. Upper left of Norfair, he had 2 of them. A little farther away, but they were top left.
This is interesting. So I guess Nito is kind of prepping. He doesn't really want to see power bombs at this point, especially when you have regular bombs. It's one thing if you have 5 power bombs and no bombs, right? But when you have the regular bombs, like you kind of can sub everything else out. I feel like if I were Nito, I think I would have just checked the next zone and dodged these majors. However, this is the more thorough play. You know, you could just get Varia, you could just get like Plasma, right? And just finish this game off. It's possible. But let's see how Oats plays this.
Yeah. That was Nito didn't get the D boost he wanted, so he's going for the backup strat here.
Look at this.
The
No high
IPJ
jump,
up.
right? Look at this. Has the bomb
Yep.
jump up here.
Yep.
All right. So you know what? I really have a feeling that Oats is gonna save here. He's gonna get the map. He's gonna get the spazer.
Filler.
Right? He's gonna get the spazer because it's the nearby major, and then I think he's gonna abandon these other majors. So this right now, what we're seeing could be a very pivotal moment on how this all plays out. Are these majors gonna be worth it? I kind of feel like Oats isn't gonna get these. I think he's gonna leave. I mean, we'll see, but
Yeah.
I think he leaves.
So far we've had Spazer and Wave, which so far looks like filler. If this is in fact the theme of if these are all going to be fillers, so we're going to see X-Ray, we're going to see Space, we're going to see Screw, just to name some of the other majors that could technically be filler. If Oats leaves, I think it definitely might be the right play.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, Oats also has an extra super pack, right, on Nito, so I think that changes the trajectory of what your choices are, but it looks like he might be going for the majors. So I think he might be going for the majors here. Yeah, he's going to make his way up. Okay.
X-Ray.
So, X-Ray, Wave, these are what you want to see. I think there's one more if I remember correctly, but Nito's health is also getting really low right now.
Yeah. Again, how often do you play with this many E-tanks?
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Oats is diving down here. Is he trying to get a refill off this? Nito's going to do a Crystal Flash refill here.
Yep.
Okay. So Oats is grabbing this tank. Is there a path to the left? Is he going to go left or is he going to go right? He's going right.
Going right.
I think Oats wanted the refill.
He's leaving.
I think he wanted the refill and get out of here. I think that was the plan. And I think this is a really strong play. He's going to save, and I think he's going to go exploring. I don't think he's going for any more
This is a
majors
massive play. Massive play.
Now, I think, was there one more major here for Nito? I can't remember. Because if there is, then obviously we still have to see what's there.
Two more.
There are
Five
two more.
majors total. 5 majors total.
Now,
There would be, if you include the bombs they got before the map, 6 majors total.
okay. I was just wondering if okay, so Nito still has to collect some more stuff, right?
Correct.
Here's the thing, right? Like, I think if Nito had one more super, I think he might have just skipped all these, right? But because he's got this, like, if he finds like plasma ice, then suddenly like Ridley's just like it's over for Ridley, right? But without those beams, it's even with a bunch of tanks, it really is pretty sketchy, right? So, what do we get here?
Just 4.
Spring.
More
This
filler.
is not looking good for Nito because you don't
isn't
really
it.
want that. Oats is making
jeez.
progress,
Yep.
heading directly to criteria.
I mean, the only other thing at this point that would be massively helpful for Nito is Plasma or Varia. Other than
Varia
that, it's
would be
been
a big deal.
Filler,
Yes.
filler.
But I don't even when Oats has 20 supers, right? Like you can kind of almost rely on being able to kill Ridley, especially when you know where Mother Brain and Dre are. Or, in Nito's case, it's Mother Brain, right? Like it's different.
It's all filler.
Oh, that's not good. Oats is in a really, really good lead. Ooh, took a big hit right there, right? But Oats is in a much stronger position right now because these majors were all blanking out.
Yep.
3 more majors
here's
to go.
another
Will.
major. 2, 3. So this could be the progression majors. We saw Norfair outside of bombs, massively all filler. Now again, Wave and Spazer are nice to have. The others, whatever. These 3 could ease. I mean, we have Ice, Plasma, Varia, and we have Space and Screw. You're going to get, of the 5 remaining majors, potentially 3 of them. And Oats is on his way to the early Supers major. Watch this be Varia. No, it's Ice Beam. Okay.
That's nice. That's big, though. I mean, I take that over every single major that Nito picked up right here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. Like at this point, like both of these players, they don't care what the progression is, right? The only thing that is like kind of useful here is Varia, but like
purely for Ridley.
Yeah, it's basically for Ridley, right? Because in hard tricky, a suitless Ridley fight isn't in logic, but when you have 9+1 and you're as good as these players, who cares about that, right? Exactly. All you're looking for is, can I kill Ridley? If so, yes, that's fine. That's all I need. I mean, there's a world where you get locked out by like Pantsroom or something else, right?
Yep.
But for Oats right now, he's saying, you know what? We're gonna find a few super packs along the way, and I'm going to kill Ridley. I will make it happen no matter what. I'm not gonna get anything else. That's kind of like his path. Now, there were some majors along the way there. He's not gonna say no to a random major that's for free, right? But Nito is playing this more thoroughly. right?
Yes.
And I think right now with all those majors blanking out, he can't be feeling good about it. I think Nito knows that Oats had a really high chance of abandoning that. Now that being said, Oats is low on health right now. If the next few rooms are like bad, this is not going to be good for him.
It's been a while since either are saved, by the way. Nito takes the save. Same one, I believe, the last save we've seen from Oats. And luckily for Oats, he finds the top of red Varin star, but it still just says, I don't care about saving, apparently. Okay. And we'll go for the map. Let's see what
nope,
Wreck Ship has.
This one.
Oh, it's Sports Bond Supers. Okay. So,
okay.
no bots.
That is
one major.
That is hilarious. That
prefer...
major is guarded by the Acid Chozo. So
is he reverts back to that save.
Yes.
He's leaving. He's not going for the major.
He's out of here. I will tell you right now, Oats, the way he's playing it is, I don't care. Let me find a zone. Show me the map. Just don't think too hard, right? Like, sure, if there's an X, I'll pick up the X, right? Give me the map, show me the bosses, let me beat this game right now. He's like, I barely want to think, I just want to run and beat the game because I'm good enough to beat the game as long as I get like just a random super here and there, right? So that's his thought process right now.
I mean, you have to figure out those supers weighing on his mind from game number 2. The difference in game number 2 being those extra super packs that Nito had. Again, Nito being more thorough here in game 3. But again, those supers, like, if I had the extra super pack, I had Metroid 2, I have some of the quicker movement, can I outbeat Nito purely based on the speed of inputs? There's a lot of the technical things here that, like, we're trying to keep up with them on commentary, which feels like a race in and of itself. But I still think, execution-wise, Oats has got faster movement, probably... that I'm like 0.5 more than what Nito has if you had to put a multiplier on it.
Yeah, it's always hard to say, right? Because it's interesting how Oats is going to be really, really fast. He's going to grab the ledges cleaner, right? But there are always like obscure rooms that like Nito may have a strat that Oats does not, right? So it's funny how certain situations that even if Oats on average like will grab a ledge much quicker and that builds up over time, there are going to be rooms that Nito as a rando specialist knows how to get through more efficiently than Oats, whereas Oats might have to pause for a second and think about it. And you know, that second can make all the difference. Meanwhile, Oats is gonna run over look at all this heat that he has to go through. He is going for these X's.
I think he's committed to no more majors at this point.
This seems a little out of the way though. I'm gonna see how Nito. I'm interested to see how Nito plays this, right? But he is basically trying to get that Ridley ammo. But this feels a little out of the way, and it's a power bomb. It's not what he wanted to see.
Yikes! If this was more power bomb, this is gonna be really rough for Oats.
Yeah, it could be.
Okay, it's supers. It's supers. It's not terrible.
Oh, and he's
not
jumping
the greatest,
too.
but it's not terrible.
Yep.
And he clears it.
Okay,
so
this is a little out of the way though.
Yeah, you get plenty of power bombs now. Race of Oats' caliber. I get 10 PBs. I'm good. I'm not gonna pick up any more of those. But getting that extra super pack again. Keep an eye on the minor ammo. 20 supers for Nito. 25 for Oats. Both racers have the same missiles and same amount of power bombs. We saw the extra missile pack in game 2. The super missile pack proved to be a deciding factor.
I just feel like this super is just way too out of the way, right? Because look at what Nito's doing, right? He just grabbed the major and is on his way to wreck ship, right? Just the efficiency on that is really good, but
correct.
Yeah, whereas Oats kind of went out of his way. He's doing Meridia before wreck ship, right? But he kind of entirely skipped the wreck ship. He's kind of abandoned it at this point, right? So if wreck ship has something, Oats is going to be in big trouble, right?
Yep.
So I'm a little concerned here. Wreck ship, you know, with all the bosses outstanding minus Dre, wreck ship has a chance of having some stuff, right? So we'll see. But Oats going to criteria first, or Oats going to here first.
The influx of oh my god.
Oh, Oats already did wreck ship. Okay, Oats already did wreck ship. Got it.
Woohoo! Oats in the Meridia. And that's a pretty decently close map, folks. There are a lot of people just joining us. First of all, welcome in. We greatly appreciate you. I'm WXFan21 along with Eddie over here on commentary, Horse Girl Esports, and Rubu. Amazing trackers as well for this Game 3. This is a gold bracket, lower bracket, quarterfinal matchup. Winner advances to the lower bracket semis. Loser comes in tied for 5th, 6th place. Thank you all so much for coming in, tuning in, and watching. Exclamation point R to give these races a follow. Exclamation point C to follow the commentary and tracking teams. Let's get this started. Eddie, Nito with a, and I should have pointed this out earlier, took a faster revert right at the bottom of the criteria entrance door than Oats did. But Nito is going for the Sport Spawn Super Major.
Oh, I mean, even if it's Varia, though, I don't think you could get this.
Revert.
I don't even. Nito's getting, so this is the trap you get into, right? Because Nito's gotten so many of these majors, right? That just makes the next few majors so much more likely to be the really good majors, right? So you're kind of committed to getting the other majors at this point, because like there's a high chance it's Plasma, there's a high chance it's Varia, right? But like, do you really need that at this point, right? I mean, look at Oats. He's got all the resources you would ever need. He's not checking anything unless it's for free, right?
Correct. Again,
So,
but like just like Nito, look at Oats's health.
yeah, it's looking bad, but like honestly, he could Crystal Flash this, right? He's got the ammo for it. Yeah. All right, so
More power bombs for Nito.
now keep in mind, Oats looks like dramatically ahead, right? But Oats still does have to do Dragon, right?
Yep.
So you have to consider the time that time it'll take for Oats to take care of Dragon, which he'll do quickly, right? But it is not it's not an irrelevant amount of time. So here we go. This is almost certainly Fantune from Oats. He's gonna go ahead and do this, get the map, and probably see a bunch more bosses here too, considering Meridia is a big zone.
Chad says should have just renamed West Ocean to Fantune Town. I mean, Fantune loves hanging out. West Ocean, Parlor, Red Tower. So many places he likes hanging out. Fantune time. We're 30 minutes in, Eddie, and this is the second boss so far that's been found.
Yeah, the thing is, it's all gonna come crashing down real soon because there's not much more to explore, and Meridia is a pretty big zone, so don't be too surprised if you potentially see every other boss here.
Agreed. We've seen every zone but Torian so far. Okay.
Ooh, let's try
so
to do
close,
it.
Oats.
Yeah. Try to recover the 2 around here.
Good finish.
Right. So, moment of truth. What is in this map? Keep in mind, this whole time, Oats did get that high jump early. And the longer that goes, the more the high jump pays off. Nito is really struggling to get to this map over here. I think Oats was actually able to get to this Fantune map a little bit quicker, proving to be really good for him.
Correct. Nito did not get Ice Beam, I don't think. Oats is headed for the map. It's going to be it's a pretty small loop, if I'm not mistaken, back.
Okay, so we're going to blast out these power bombs from Oats' side to make our way over to the map. And what are we going to see?
I think we're going to see every other boss in this area along with the remaining Torian door.
Remember, we have the information on Dragon, so what do we see here?
Bang,
there it is.
There they are.
There it is.
There they are.
And there is a double refill to the right of Ridley. It's looking real good for Oats right now. It's looking real good for Oats. Nito's fight is not completely trivial at the moment. If Nito had 2 more missile packs, I think it would be pretty easy, but Nito can still do this fight. It's just not the easiest, I would say. But he has to first find his way over to Fantune.
And this is even better because this is a ammo and energy station that Oats has found.
Oh, it's exactly what he wanted. And this fight
You got it.
is... I mean, we've seen Oats struggle with some fights before, like randomly in this sort of setting, but this is so much health. So much health, right? So with 30 supers and this much health to spare, even if he whiffs a few supers, he can use the supplementary missiles. It's about as comfortable as he's going to get for a fight.
He can't miss one. I mean, he can miss a couple, but...
Yeah. Every super he
happens.
misses means he has to shoot 6 more regular missiles.
You got it.
I'm a little surprised that he's shooting these missiles rather than just firing.
Just launch the supers? I think he wants to maybe save a couple of supers.
I find that slightly strange because there is the full refill, but he is being a little safe and
very nice Ridley fight. As flawless as you can get, Eddie.
Yeah, I think what he's probably trying to do, I think he's trying to hyper optimize this. No, he's gonna go back. I was gonna say, I wonder if he's hyper optimizing this, knowing that the ship is by Mother Brain. So I thought maybe he was just gonna refill at the ship and not take the refill here. I mean, he is looking for Mother Brain, so I think that's what he's planning. And
he knows he has to go back for Dragon. Okay, he has his route.
Okay, but he is gonna take this refill.
Absolutely, it's right here.
Yeah, I just find it slightly inconsistent that he takes the refill, but then uses regular missiles on Ridley there.
Yeah.
But
nerves.
Either way, doesn't matter.
Could easily be nerves too. Again, folks, this is an elimination game. One of these racers is advancing to the gold lower bracket semifinals. Other one is eliminated, but you're tied to come in 5th, 6th place. So regardless, this is a top 8 matchup. And this is exactly what you wanted for a quarterfinal here in the gold bracket with these two high-level runners.
All right,
Oats. He looked at that map long enough that I think he has his route.
Yes, he might. He knows he has to go to Kraid, and then we'll see if he can do a pauses from the rest of the way. Now, I will say, given all that's going on, I would give the advantage to Oats. And I think that this Gravity 9+1 pick, honestly, right, I think really favors Oats here, right? Because when you have Gravity 9+1, right, the value of the majors drop pretty dramatically if you are like really confident in the Ridley fight, right? Because you could do most everything in the game, right? So Nito is someone that does... He does put more stock in grabbing majors, so I think this actually played against him, right? Oats is just like, I'm skipping everything.
Yeah. I thought Nito was headed for the upper right-hand corner of not Wreck Ship, but West Ocean here real quick.
Yeah.
Just the way he was moving through upper West Ocean, and he'll get the same information.
Yep. He's probably gonna go smoke Ridley right now. He could refill to get one extra super, but I think what he's just gonna do is 30-24 with some supplementary beam shots is how I see it. It would have to be, I believe, 3 beam shots on top of landing all of these. It's possible that he opens with an X Factor so that he can then just use all of his ammo and not worry about anything else, but we'll see how he approaches this.
Also, one thing to put in, this would be, I believe, the farthest either of these two racers have ever gotten so far in the 3 map rando tournaments. This is a round, I think, where Oats has finished in at least 1, but this is the farthest, I believe, that Nito's gotten in a map rando tournament. So there's a lot on the line here for both racers.
Once again, this beam does 210 damage. 3 of those shots equals roughly 1 super. Now it has to land every single one of these missiles. And I think he'll be able to clean up the fight right here. There we go, that's it. Nice fight, that was excellent. Alright, so Oats heading back over, took out Kraid, is going to head over, has to defeat the Dragon that Nito already defeated. Should be pretty quick. And then is going to be ready to go beat the game and defeat Mother Brain. Nito still has to go kill Kraid. And is going to make a way over there. So how long will this Dragon take Oats? That's kind of the question here.
I don't think it matters with the way Oats is moving. But again, take a look at where Dragon is. The fastest way, in my opinion, for Oats is to go back into Bryn because it's a quicker shot straight up Bryn. But he's going to go all the way through Norfair, which it's going to allow Nito, I keep on saying this, to attempt to even come back in this. It's one boss versus one boss left. Oats has to go all the way up Big Pink. He's going to go back into Main Street. This is going to be a little bit more of a wild path here for Oats, and luckily, with the way he's going to leave Norfair right into Brinstar, he's going to be that much closer to Mother Brain. Nito is still further behind. He's probably about a minute 15, maybe a minute and a half off of where Oats is. Oats is still in the lead.
There's a lot of things that we still, like Oats has to nail the short charge, right? Every single movement mistake is a big deal here, right?
Yep.
You have to also consider that, you know, Oats does have 40-30, right? He does have ice. Nito may have to do I don't know if there was a runway to do a Zeb skip, right? But, ooh, and like Nito missing this, like this is all of this matters, right? At this stage of the game, this all matters. So Nito going ahead and taking care of the final boss. Oats is going to make his way over to his final boss, which is Dragon.
They should both be getting to these bosses roughly at the same time.
And the amount of health that Oats has, there's a decent chance he's going to have to do some sort of refill on the way back.
Yep.
So we'll see. Now, keep in mind, Dragon, if you do optimally, right, is not free in terms of health, right? Like,
No.
Oats is going to have to do several Shine Sparks here, and you can die. You can absolutely die here. If he screws the Shine Spark up, I mean, he has so much experience in doing a fight like this, right? But, like, you don't have Varia Suit. And if you don't have Varia Suit, you're taking, in map Rando, you take double the damage, right? So he needs to make sure that this is clean. He needs to absolutely make sure this is clean. Meanwhile, Nito has already killed Kraid and is now heading back.
Unreal. Again, Nito way further away from Mother Brain than where Oats is. Again,
Okay,
how long
so
is
Oats is
the
going to
great
finish
fight
this
gonna
off with
be?
ammo. Oats, you have to be really careful here.
My goodness, Oats.
There we go.
Nicely done. I thought he was going to keep getting hit with Dragon by the way he was lining up. But still very nicely done here for Oats. He's just going to... He's looking for a spike suit.
Okay. So, with Dragon completed, Oats is now going to head to Mother Brain. Is going to get a refill back in Brinstar. Right? Is going to be close to the ship. Did he just spark there? That is a little bit of a time loss. You can't be wasting any time because Nito is in Norfair and is going to also be heading towards Mother Brain.
Oh, they're both in Norfair, except Oats. This is ridiculous. Oats is going to farm here rather than going back to the ship and looping back to Mother Brain. Nito is just fully in there. We're going to have the racers in Mother Brain at about the same time, and this could easily come down to movement.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, there is a good amount of heat before Ridley, but I think there's also a farm there. But so it does make sense for him to recover his health here. But oh my gosh, look at this Bryn entrance! Look at this Bryn entrance, right? Look at what's going on right here. They're like in the same spot basically, because he's gonna go down this elevator. Oh man, okay, it's so close. It's so close. I can't stress enough how close this is. Nito's a little bit ahead, but Oats.
What is happening?
It's so close. It's so close. There's no pot. Oats has the better beam, right? And he's got better ammo. Like he's gonna instantly kill this Mother Brain, right? Nito still has to do some shots, and Nito also still has to heal a little bit. Both players are gonna have to heal a little bit, right? But Oats has the faster Zeb skip as well. And Nito has to heal a little bit more. So I think Oats is ahead. Oats is definitely ahead right here.
Eddie, Oats has the 5 more supers this time.
He does. He's also got the ice.
They're in the same
Oats
room.
Oats doesn't have to farm as much because he farmed earlier.
Chat, for the final time in this series, get your guesses in the chat for the escape timer game. It's the same zone. What is the escape timer going to be? Get your guesses in right now as they get to the Mother Brain fight. I'm going 45 seconds.
Okay. All right.
Can we ask the racers to please make this a best of 5?
Oats ahead.
I don't want this series to end!
Oats ahead. Oats ahead in every metrics.
Yep.
The only thing that Nito has on it is the health. And that is, frankly, the only way that this ends, I think, in Nito's favor, is if Oats takes too much damage, because he's ahead by a good amount here. Yep. And Oats is gonna nuke this Mother Brain fight.
Yep. Nito just spent a lot of supers. Nito just spent like 4 supers on the Mother Brain 1 fight.
About 3 more shots, and that's gonna do it for Oats. And that
Oats
fight is over for Oats. It is over for Oats. The ship is not that far. Nito still has a good amount of shots left.
This is a reverse of what we just saw to end game 2. Oats stretch. Here we go. What's the timer going to be? How fast can Oats get out? If Oats shambles once on the escape, it's over. And it's 50 seconds on the escape. Metaphorical cookies to all of you that guessed 50 seconds. This is going to be a tight escape. This is going to be a tight finish. All it takes is one mistake from Oats here on the escape, and this is Nito's game to lose.
All right. So, will Oats make it back? This is not the hardest escape. They have the ship basically exactly where Mother Brain is. But he's cooking. He's making ways up. He's making his way up the elevator. Meanwhile, Mother Brain 2 down for Nito.
What a game. What a series. Up into Parlor. So close to the ship. Can Oats secure a top 4 spot in gold?
Here we go. Exiting the Parlor. Not even randomized.
He's done it. Oats, lower bracket semi-finalist, and secures a top 4 spot in gold. I believe for the first time ever at a Map Rando tournament, and Nito's journey here in this tournament comes to an end. My pick to win the whole thing ends it here in what was a phenomenal best of 3, and Oats still holds up his participation trophy or whatever he had at his desk. And wow, what a finish as Nito finishes up here, just to illustrate how close these racers were. The final times according to racetime.gg, Oats at 44:53, Nito at 45 minutes and 32 seconds. Less than a 1 minute difference separated these racers, as we are joined by Nito and Oats and Goats. Racers, GG's, congrats. What a series.
Hello.
Hello, geez.
Yeah, GG's. That was a little stressful series, but it seems like it was close every single time. So
I think so, yeah.
Yep.
Pretty crazy.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I got some questions for both of you. I think this series was extremely good, showcasing both of you kind of just playing very differently. Basically, it's hard to. I feel like it's one of those, what did my opponent do, right? But like the paths that you took all 3 games were very, very different approaches, and they were all very close, which I thought made for a really, really good show, right? Because we thought it was just like, okay, it's over for this person. No, wait, it's not over. Oh, wait, it's over. It happened all 3 games, basically, right? So it was incredibly fun to watch. Yeah, I guess my first question for the final game 3, because it's probably the freshest on your mind. Nito, what was kind of your thought process on the Gravity 9+1? I'm assuming you kind of know how Oats was kind of approaching that after seeing all the majors in the Big Pink, after getting the map in the Big Pink area. What was kind of your thought process on getting all the majors? Obviously, you could probably tell that Oats sort of chose to skip those.
Yeah, I got baited by those majors pretty hard, but they were still kind of critical to what I needed to finish the game. Just having Wave and Spazer there, I think, was really what helped me at least get this time. But yeah, Gravity 9+1, it's generally a mode where you don't want to over collect on the majors because Gravity and the high amount of energy is going to open up a lot of the map already. I saw at least a cluster of X's out there to kind of justify it, but I think it overall would have been better to just kind of leave that all over there. It just didn't have the payoff I was looking for.
Yeah, and then Oats, I assume that your thought process was, I'm going to grab this one major that's near me, which was Spazer, and then you decided, I'm just going to play this almost like Go mode. I think you grabbed one tank and a super, and then you're like, I'm out of here. That's kind of like your thought process.
Yeah, so I grabbed the tank just to refill, but it also kind of helps just in case I don't find enough supers and I'm weak. So I essentially, from Big Pink, I play like I'm Go mode. And I don't want to collect anything else really, other than like some stuff along the way, like maybe some extra missiles or supers. So I wanted to play this one, very aggressive because I figured, that's kind of a good approach with Gravity 9+1. If you're given the opportunity to do everything, you may as well just try to take it and just take the risk and do all the hell runs and try to do Ridley with what you got,
Yep. So I have another question. At the start, power bombs were awkward. You both had to leave Norfair to find your power bombs. What was also on my mind, and Nito's mind, was the wreck ship shaft in Brinstar. That had an X, but Oats, you actually scrolled up a little bit. You saw the X that was in the pit room by the ship, right?
Yes.
It's interesting how that worked out. They both ended up being power bombs, but then in the process of you getting that one, Oats, you chose to get the major that was in bowling.
Yes.
I'm not sure how you felt about that one, but it ended up being high jump, and getting that early probably helped you in the movement as well. Just wondering what you were thinking.
I think it was quick enough to where I was glad to keep it. It wasn't too bad to run out with, and it was still kind of like early game going into mid game. And I know that I was trying to like really focus on my movement, and with high jump, I know I can save a lot of time if I just keep it. So
yeah. And then Nito, you just went ahead and got the X on the right, but you saw on the shaft, and then you just went straight back into Norfair. I had another question regarding that. One of the key differences in the beginning is that Nito actually opted to go ahead and kill Dragon. And then Oats, you chose to do something pretty interesting. I actually thought it was pretty cool. You dove the pit, right, to do a loop. But then we thought that maybe you're going to kill Dre. I think you accidentally soft locked yourself by going down single chamber. But what was your plan, to kill Dragon on the way out?
Yes, I knew it was connected to Brinstar, and Brinstar had Mother Brain, so I figured at some point I would be coming back. And I just didn't want to kill right then. I could have, because we had speed booster, but I kind of wanted to just keep it for later since it was connected to Mother Brain essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that makes sense. So it was kind of, we knew that positionally you looked a lot further ahead than you actually were, because we knew that Nito had the kill on you. So that was like kind of fun to watch, knowing like, wait, this is actually closer than it looks, because Oats still has to kill them. And so when you mess up the speed booster in Batoon Hall, we were like, oh my god, like this could make the difference, right? There was some aspects to that. For game 2, that one was a lot of fun to watch. I do have a few questions regarding game 2, but if I could try to jog your memory, Nito actually took a sizable advantage in the early game, because every kind of decision he chose to make ended up being correct, basically. But the early game, there was that moment where you had to dive Fantoon for the map, and you actually could get out, right? So Nito, did you have any concerns about that? I assume you had a decent chance of knowing that could be Fantoon, but you were willing to just sack for the map at that point.
Yeah, with Bryn being the second largest map, I just valued, like, Fantoon not being an objective there obviously sucks, but I just value the map knowledge at that point, so I'm willing to, even if it looks like I can't get out, which I don't think would be very likely, since we have double suit at that point. Like it just made sense to me to go get the kill and get the map knowledge right away.
And then Oats, you had a spot in that game where you were trying to get the Vantoon map by not diving the pit. So you got into an awkward spot where you noticed that there was like no real way to get to the map because you were powerbomb locked, right? Which happened to both of you. I feel like it looked like you took like a slight gamble essentially, where there were a bunch of X's in that big pink area and everything to the right, but it looks like, and I like what you did, by the way. You did scout out that there was a power bomb. Both of you did this. You scouted out that there was a power bomb in the bottom right entrance of Norfair. It was locked behind the jail, and you kind of knew that there was a path down Red Tower to potentially get there. But Oats, you did, once you got the Fantoon map, you did see a few X's, and then you opted to go for the aggressive one, which is down the right sand pit, which I like. I like that play. I think it's good to gamble on that. Nito, I think you chose not to do that. I'm wondering like what you were both thinking, because I think Oats, you kind of foregoed a few X's, and then you did the one aggressive one, and then Nito, I think you didn't do. You got all the X's but the aggressive one, so you came out with like 15 more supers basically.
Yeah, I just wanted to, as I was leaving, I knew that if that is the only accessible power bomb other than the sand pit, then we were kind of having to do this big loop. So yeah. I would have preferred to just spike power bombs right there. And I think it was worth the risk. Because if it was power bombs, then I could just navigate over to Red Tower from Brinstar.
Yeah, I like that.
So yeah, I definitely liked the idea, but unfortunately it didn't pan out.
And then you opted not to take that risk. You just went straight back.
Right. Yeah, I had the thought about it, but I'm just kind of going off of, I've seen way more seeds where that is just going to be a super. Like, that's not going to bail you out in any way. Although I have seen plenty of seeds where, for whatever reason, that is a bailout power bomb.
Yeah, just in case it wanted us to like drop down earlier and it just expected or something. I don't know. Like, it could have been silly. So
this is where it gets really interesting, right? Because if you can imagine, by not doing the Fantoon early, Oats basically kind of got forced into blinding everything on the right because you kind of get roped into it, only to find the Norfair entrance blind and the powerbomb door, and then he tries to get to the top right, and then he finds the Red Tower. Both of you found the Red Tower powerbomb entrance, which was kind of funny. But Nito, actually, you did something interesting. Prior to going into Brinstar, you took the save, and before even doing the Fantoon situation, you reverted back and went for the criteria map, which is something that Oats abandoned for a while. And that actually brought him back into the game, funny enough, because the Meridia entrance, he sort of took that. He sort of went directly for the criteria map. I don't know. I actually want to know, Oats, from your perspective, you knew that there was a speed lock, right? And it wasn't enough because, Nito took game 2, but you got really close because you chose to abandon the majors in Norfair, and you instead went for the criteria map, getting you into Meridia.
Yeah, so I knew that
huge boost for you.
Yeah, I felt like I had lost a lot of time, and obviously I know Nito's a good player, so I figured he had solved the early game a lot quicker than I did, so I wanted to skip essentially the major at Croc, which if it was speed, I was losing, but I figure I was already losing. So then I just wanted to abandon that and then go to criteria and see if I could get the final objective or speed booster, which luckily we didn't have to go back into Torian. Because
Nito actually had a massive. We basically thought it was over, but because you got to skip because there's a Croc major and the majors at the bottom right, that actually made it close because Nito did get all of that, knowing that there's a speed lock. And he actually knew where the Meridia entrance is, whereas you didn't have the map, so you didn't really know what was going on anyway. So it kind of like incentivized you to get the map, and then the Meridia entrance is right there. So you really almost brought it back right there, even though he had a really big advantage.
Yeah, and that's kind of the fun dynamic with 1v1s, because obviously I respect Nito and I know he was ahead, or at least I had a very good suspicion he was ahead of me. So I can take that risk, but unfortunately didn't bring it back. Well, we got game 3 out of it, but it was close and entertaining, I guess. So
yeah. And then Nito, I assume you're just trying to find speed, right, in Norfair basically.
Yeah, Spacer being a Croc was a bummer. Grapple being the bottom right was also a bummer. I probably should have just reset Grapple there, but I just figured if we do have to go back into Torian, for any objectives, that it would just make Panzer a lot faster.
Yep.
But yeah, that didn't end up being necessary.
Yeah.
I thought that I had just thrown when I saw that the Meridian entrance was at the top of Criteria, and I had to make the long trek all the way back up there with like it didn't even give X-ray as a possible alternative to get around this, so it was a hard speed lock.
Yeah, it was. It was cool to watch because both of you kind of like the Turian map situation was hilarious, right? But you both did first try the ice clip. So we were just like, oh my gosh, like you both first tried this. This is actually crazy because you guys were really close at that point, right? Kind of like positionally, but like Nito, you getting so far ahead at that point, it was crazy to watch like in real time. Like, oh my gosh, is Oats actually going to catch up here? But the deficit was too much from the early game, and Oats still having to do Metroid Room 2, which he left behind and you did early, kind of sealed the deal at that point. But that was once again really close. The first game, I assume, Nito, I'm not sure if you I'm assuming you knew what happened. I don't know if you know where the supers were. I think you got did you both get the supers underneath Precious?
No, I didn't.
You found yours in Criteria, correct? In the game 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of where it was over. Basically, we thought it was just game over instantly. But Oats, after getting the bombs, he had already peeked the spazer behind the gauntlet. So I understand from your perspective, when you get the bombs, you're heavily incentivized to kind of go through all those like gauntlet rooms with the bombs because we only had 5 power bombs. But he had already known that there was spazer back there because he peeked it. So from Oats's perspective, the only real bombable thing that might have been like logical was probably the other gauntlet entrance in Brinstar, which was blind, which you did and found Dragon for. So Oats, after getting the bombs, actually just dove Precious and found supers right there. It was sitting right there, which is why he got so far ahead. But I think due to some misrouting, it was still once again really, really close.
I remember. Yeah, I felt like I was probably behind in game 1 with the supers as well, but it was a really weird situation, so it was hard to tell. I think so. Is that where I got supers was Precious? Okay,
I was saying that I think Nito probably knows that. I think Nito assumes that you guys did the same thing, maybe, right? But I was saying that Oats probably doesn't realize how far he got ahead in the early game. That Precious room had the supers. I think the bombs were a major item, a key item, but I think it was the supers that gave progression. So the filler super essentially was what you had to get. But what happened for Nito, Oats, is he got the bombs, and then he said, oh, I got to take these bombs back to Gauntlet, which was the spazer. And then he's like, oh, this isn't it. So then he went to he blinded the other Gauntlet room in Brinstar, which brought him to Dragon. And then he was like, oh, this is really bad. I don't know what's going on here.
I was going to say, if you blind Dragon, that's nice, but also at the same time, you are probably going further away from supers. So I was a little bit disappointed. As I was coming up, I was nervous that Nito and I were essentially tied. Yeah. And if Dragon was just to the right here, I was going to be very disappointed. Get the map, and Dragon is immediately where I thought, it was like my worst case scenario was Dragon was right there. So I had to run it back, which wasn't the worst, but it felt terrible when I thought we were pretty neck and neck.
Yeah. Because Nito turned around from the bombs and decided to take the bombs from something he remembered. That put him really, really far behind, because I think he found supers like in the other side of the world, essentially. He was locked out of doing a lot of stuff. But I do have a question for you, Oats. Did you remember where the charge was? Because you collected a lot of ammo after killing, or on the way to killing Ridley here. I know you wanted to finish Ridley at the bottom.
I did. So that was always in the back of my mind, and I basically was hoping that it wasn't going to be necessary, or like I could maybe bypass more items, because whenever I play for charge, I end up running for like really far majors, and so I kind of just wanted to do supers and then hope to find Ridley in a better position.
Yes.
And then at some point when I had speed or whatever, I could go back up to Brinstar.
Okay, so what I think the big thing that let Nito potentially catch up there, and something we wanted to ask you is on the way up from Ridley, was there a reason you chose Criteria over getting Charge plus the Burn Star map, which was pretty close to the entrance?
Let me see here. Where was Ridley? It was. Oh, okay.
I think Ridley was in Norfair at the bottom. We thought you were going to head straight back to Brinstar, and that would have been the end of the game. But because you went to Criteria, the routing ended up being like really, really, really bad for you. And that literally almost let Nito come back. You had to basically zigzag like a lot because you took the Criteria entrance.
Oh, yeah. So no, I took the Meridia entrance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like kind of scrambled at this point, and I was a little overwhelmed with this map. So I saw a path, and I didn't know how much worse it was. I didn't think it was better, but okay. I didn't know it was that bad, but I saw it, and I didn't want to sit there and try to like calculate what the other routing was, which it is much quicker, I guess, if we look at Norfair. It would have been much better, and then I could have farmed as well if I needed. Got it.
Yeah, and we actually thought Nito, because you guys saw how close game one was, right? Like, But we thought after you got the supers and Nito did it, it basically looked like it was just completely over, and Nito was going to lose by like 20 minutes or something, right? But we wanted to ask you about that because we thought like, oh, go back to Brinstar, get the map that's kind of close to the charge, but then you ended up going to Criteria, and then the way that works out is the map is so far away from the boss, and you have to zigzag both times. So that got Nito to almost take you out in game one as well. So we were like, oh my gosh, it's a comeback potentially.
Yeah, I definitely did feel good about the routing, and I think I said that as well in the race time room. But Nito,
did you have any thoughts on the first game with the super location from your perspective?
So looking back on it now, I think it was literally just like a lapse of what we started the game with in the item draft mode. Because as soon as I got those bombs coming out of Precious, I was thinking about the gauntlet rooms to have to go back through, but it just like completely wasn't in my mind to be like, oh, it's potentially safe to drop down Precious room and get back up.
Especially with
to see if there's anything else here. So. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer that I just completely forgot about that. But otherwise, like game one, I just felt like a mess. Like I was running in between every single region multiple times over, just feeling like I wasn't really making any reasonable progress.
Once you didn't finish when I expected you to finish around like 45 to 55 minutes, I knew that we must have been close. So once I saw like it getting closer to 50 minutes, I started, actually trying to pick it up a little bit. Obviously, I still made some bad mistakes, but I knew basically there's like a threshold, right? And that time threshold had passed. So I knew that it was brutal for both of us.
Yeah.
All I'm hearing is you started trying 45 to 50 minutes in.
No. I was trying, and I made some bad mistakes, apparently.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like those three games were really cool to watch, right? Because it wasn't just like, exact same thing side by side. It was pretty different, and I could see exactly why you were both doing things the way that you did, and it still ended up being really close. I was just wondering, did you guys have any thoughts on games 1, 2, or 3? Anything that you were like forgetting or thinking about that you wanted to ask from our perspective?
Not that I can think of. It seems like they were both a lot different than I thought. If we took different routes, like very different approaches to solutions and everything, so it'll be fun to watch back, but I can't think of anything. I think we covered most of the anxiety points in these seeds.
Yeah, I agree. I think we are it'll be good to like go back and watch them, because it's always interesting and seeing like how other play styles are coming into it, other decision making. I think we kind of addressed everything here, but it'll be some great reviewing later on.
I mean, I think that honestly, you guys put up a great show. Like the fact that all of these games were this close and so different, right? I think just was really exciting. Spiffy was a little sad that he had to go for game 2. He wanted to keep watching it, but I'm sure he got to watch, and we had WX here doing comms. So yeah, WX, do you have any questions for these runners?
I was too busy listening and enjoying all the amazing questions and commentary, so no, I've got nothing. Everything's been covered. I mean, let's face it, Spiffy probably put this on in his break room or was watching it at his desk when he got to work, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, okay. Well, other than that, any final words that you guys want to say? Oats, you're going to be moving on, playing the winner of Lynx versus Nevdi versus Aussie. And then Nito, I think this is the end of it, but, you know, getting really far. I'm sure you're happy with your performance, you know, like you said, from the last tournament. This could have just been anyone's game, obviously, given how close these races were.
Yeah, I mean, I think anyone at this point could win it, and Nito is obviously a very, very expected racer to win. So I'm glad that I got to be the one to put the finishing blow. But you know, no, it's been fun, and I review your runs the most to improve. So it was an honor racing, I think, one of the best players in the tournament. So yeah, and then Eddie and WX, and then of course Spiffy is not here, but thank you all for doing the comms. Rubu, thank you for doing the tracking. I know it's a lot of work, and thanks for all the volunteers. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, GG's as well. You know, it goes likewise as well, where your races are the ones that I watch the most as well, trying to just learn. Like I think I bring a lot of like good logical knowledge to the table, but then I'm watching a lot of what you do with movement and strategy and chaining rooms together, and I just do my best to try and copy it, really. Like so it's an interesting mesh to me of you know, how we make this all work. But I do appreciate the set. It was a lot of fun. I'm sad I couldn't send you to the retirement home, but
that's okay. We still got some time before, or I do, before the next race, probably. It looks like they have to play 2, so.
Yeah, you'll be able to get some other stuff in before the next match. I'll be happy to like start getting into a little bit of any percent now that I'm out of the tournament. So that'll be fun to do. Otherwise, good luck in future matches. GG's.
Thank you. Yep.
Eddie, how about final thoughts from you? I'll wrap things up and get us on out of here.
Final thoughts. You know what? I think they wrapped it up just as much. Oats did all the things. So yeah, thank you, Spiffy, for joining me on the early comms. Thank you, WX, for joining me for the game 3. Horse Girl Esports 69 and Rubu on tracking. Thank you two so much. And that's it. Take us away, WX.
Fantastic. Thank you all so much for tuning in and watching. That's it for us here for today from Map Rando. Coming up this weekend, this Saturday, it's Dessler versus Lopter at 5 p.m. Eastern. And then it's going to be Lynx versus Nevdi at 8 p.m. Eastern. Again, channels are to be decided. Thank you so much to Eddie and Spiffy for the amazing commentary they did Game 1 and Game 3, allowing me to come in and do some co-coms here in Game number 3. Big shout-outs, of course, to our amazing racers. So, of course, for Nito, Oats, Eddie, Spiffy the Hair Thomas, Horse Girl Esports, and Rubu, I'm WXFan21, saying we'll all see you next mission. Tune in to Dessler versus Lopter this Saturday. Bye, everybody.